We are live on Pop Culture Breakdown. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and we have a packed show tonight, folks. Oh, my goodness gracious, a lot of stuff is going on. But before we get into that, the highs and lows of pop culture this week, and there are some highs for a change, ladies and gentlemen. There are some actual highs. I cannot believe it. If I had any pearls, I'd clutch them. Oh my goodness, I'm getting the vapors just at the thought of some good stuff in pop culture. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into that. But first, let's go ahead and go around and introduce everybody on the panel. We've got Gary Ambrosia, who's never clutched a pearl in his life. Hail to you, Gary Ambrosia. How are you today?
Hi, how you guys doing? Hey, what's
Who
happening?
was that? Paul Lind or Charles Nelson Riley?
Sure, whatever. I don't know. Take your pick. But I don't even know what that phrase means. Clutching pearls. I understand the actual literal phrase, but I never bothered to look that up. And anyway,
it means like in outrage or surprise, like, oh my stars, and you clutch your pearls like, oh, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. That's what it is.
I see. Well, again, yeah, nothing surprises me these days. But hail to the chat and hail to the wrenches, all of you out there. It's been a shitty week and a horrible day, so let's kick some ass.
All right, that sounds good. Well, we are here, and we are also here with Rob Wright, who is smiling real big, which really annoys the shit out of me. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Hey, I'm smiling because we're talking about Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home tonight. Great movie, a lot of fun. But we got some crap and some good stuff to talk about in between. So,
all right, that sounds good. Well, then that's a good reason to smile. That's a good reason to smile for sure. And Sean, hail on you, Sean. It's great to see you. And you're smiling because you probably built an incredibly amazing Romulan Warbird model, which I was blown away by. Holy shit.
Thank you. Yeah, that one turned out pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. But hi to the panel and chat, and I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
All right, he's ready to go. And here we come to Doug Nelson, our crash test smarty, who is like Mikey. Yeah, give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything. Hey, Doug, how's it going?
It's going all right.
Good. Anything.
That's as good
as it gets. Wow. Holy shit. The best is yet to come, Sinatra said, but yeah. He didn't hang out with Doug. God bless you, Doug. We're glad to have you here, and I can't wait to hear your opinions on the stuff we're talking about today, because you've seen damn near everything. Looking forward to you do. You get around, man. We're gonna get on this here. Hail to you, Doug Nelson, and we've got Anti-Derivative Jill, Communications Officer. Hail, Jill. How are you tonight? Silent. Well, now
I'm doing really well.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for having me.
It's like, ironic. It's like communications officer and no communication.
Yeah, it's very smug, a little bit
ready to go. Well, I'm trying to figure out what these strange noises from the probe are doing.
Yeah.
Figure that out pretty soon.
Yeah.
I've also got my Michelob.
Oh, wow.
It's the anti-Michelob, but we'll go ahead and fix that. Unmirror the camera. All right. Well, shoot, folks.
Brought to you by Michelob.
But that's what I'm saying. Tonight is the night for product placement movies.
All right, sounds good. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and get down to the breakdown and play some product here. All right. So first things first, we have had we've got the Gina Carano situation here that we need to address, because there's a lot of controversy around this. Some people are saying that this is a win because, Gina is obviously happy with whatever the settlement is. Other people are saying that it's a big loss because we don't get Discovery. Disney got their way. So we're going to debate that to start off with, but I want to get one thing out of the way here. I saw this thing today, and I've lived through this. I've lived through this. It was rubbing fucking salt in the wound when I saw it, because this is about AMC theaters, ladies and gentlemen. This was an announcement. It says AMC and I've personally experienced this. I'm going to tell you the story in a minute. AMC Theaters is increasing the amount of advertising shown before movies to boost revenue. The pre-show material, which includes trailers and other ads, can now last between 25 to 30 minutes, according to the theater chain. This is due to a deal between AMC and National Cine Media, an advertising company that works with movie theaters. AMC hopes this will help them recover from a first quarter loss and address financial struggles. Now, let me just tell you a little story about a man named Doomcock. Doomcock has to go watch Snow fucking Woke. And is Doomcock happy? No, Doomcock is not happy. Doomcock trudges into that theater like Marie fucking Antoinette, like climbing the fucking stairs. It's like, I gotta go and sit through this fucking shit, and it's gonna be a fucking nightmare. Now I go and I sit there, and there's some trailers, and there's some ads. There's some trailers, and there's some ads. And there's some more trailers and some ads, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And more trailers and more ads. And finally I look down at my watch. It's been 25 fucking minutes. 25 fucking minutes. And this was the first time this ever happened to me in my life. And I'm like, what in God's name? And then I'm like in a Twilight Zone hell where basically, well, on the other hand, the minute that these fucking ads stop, I'm going to have to watch fucking Snow Woke. So there's no win for me. There's no bright shining light at the end of this fucking tunnel. It's just a long fucking dark tunnel. And I can't believe this shit. So the next time when I went to go see Superman, they didn't show the commercials, and I missed because I went late, and I went like 15 minutes late, and they'd started the fucking movie. So you can't fucking win. This is a fucking abomination. Having to sit through fucking 25 or 30 fucking minutes on this shit. Can you believe that shit? Holy fuck. So, I don't, should anybody here put up with that shit? I mean, shouldn't we be boycotting these theaters? Yeah, you've had losses. Tough shit. We all hurt. Everybody hurts sometimes, according to REM. What the fuck? Bob Dole made that quite clear in that Saturday Night Live skit. So I just want to have any of you guys experience this shit, and people are talking about, well, I've sat through 20 minutes, not a half hour, and 20 minutes is too long, for fuck's sake. Come on, don't accept this shit. Don't bend over and say, oh well, it's life. Thank you, sir. May I have another? This is a fucking outrage. Gary Ambrosia, anything to say to this?
I too experience what you're talking about, but I've timed it to where when I show up, I'm just hanging out outside the theater on the phone for a half hour, and then I walk in and, oh look, there's the credits. There, the movie started. But yeah, literally, I go to late movies, and they're extra late because the movie starts at 10. It really starts at like 10:35. I've had enough. I've had enough of Maria Menounos. I see her at the fucking gas station. Now I have to see her at the movie theater. I don't have a choice. You can't. At least you can stay outside the theater. At the movie theater. But when you're at the gas station, you have no choice now at this point. When you're pumping gas, there she is. Hey, I'm going to teach you how to make a tuna sandwich. Really, just shut up. I want to pump some gas. Just shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you. But yeah, I try to time it out. I have not yet experienced them starting the movie without the trailers. So
I did.
Wow, that's shitty.
I missed the first few minutes of Superman. Yeah.
Well, you didn't miss much.
Well, I knew he crashed in a crater, and I'd already seen that shit, thank God. But I mean, it's just so it fills the specter of doubt in your mind. Can you fuck around for going late, or are you gonna miss something? Rob, anything to add?
Yeah, I've experienced this a bunch, and I'm sick and tired of it too. 20 to 30 minutes. I'm done with my snacks. I'm halfway through my drink, and I'm like, the movie hadn't even started yet. And I'm like, what the hell? I come and I want to get comfortable. I want to watch the movie. I want to eat and, have fun. And this is sucking the fun and anything out of it that I wanted for the movie. Now, when I did see Superman, it was on like the special Amazon thing. So they only had like one trailer and then went into the movie, but the fucking lights were on. So that's another deal that I've had to deal with is I'll never do AMC again for that reason. They left the house lights on for like a half hour into the movie until somebody went out and told them to turn them off.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there under a light, and I'm just like, what the hell? I'm watching the movie, and I'm just like, get it right.
Unbelievable. Sean, anything you would like to weigh in on this?
Well, I mean, yes, they have to make revenue. They have to bring money in and keep the people employed. But this is ridiculous. 30 minutes. The last 3 movies I've been to, it was 30 to 35 minutes. And just like Rob said, like my popcorn's gone by the time the movie starts. And I can't just set it down. You just keep all of a sudden it's empty and you're chewing on the kernels. And then
you guys got to exercise a little self-control, man.
Well,
okay?
I'm trying. But I mean, like the drink and the snacks, you want to enjoy them with the movie. And I like it. I like a good trailer as much as anybody, but 30 minutes it's just too much. It's too much. They got to limit it. Maybe next time I'll ask someone coming out of the theater how long the trailers were, and then I'll know when to go in. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. But 10 fucking minutes is the limit. That's how many you should have. 10 minutes. That's it. And only trailers, not ads for Audi or any bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And repeating ads.
Oh god.
And how about those fucking little quizzes they put up, which is like, it's like Where's Waldo, but there's 4 people on the page. It's that obvious. Like, what's the movie? And there's a fucking DeLorean. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the movie? There's 2 lightsabers. I'm like, kid, it's really not that hard to figure out. Those are insulting.
Well, participation trophies all around in the Safe Space Theater. Doug, any observations on this? Recollections?
Well, I haven't experienced 30 minutes of them, but I have experienced them. So it happens. And even if they were to give you the warning ahead of time, from now on, there's going to be 30 minutes of it. So then you calculate, well, then I'll be 30 minutes late, just so I can walk in. Well, oh God, they're going to figure that out. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose because, well, I need the revenue for the ads, but then eventually the advertisers understand nobody's seeing them. And so it's like you're bailing water out of the boat to the other end of the boat. Yeah. And that's the overall problem. They're not making the money they need. Gee, I wonder what happened. So on and so forth. Whereas this becomes another nuisance for people that are no one's going to say, hey, they had all these ads before the movie started. It was great. I really learned stuff. Maria taught me how to make tuna sandwiches. That's right, Gary. She did. It's not going to solve the problem. It's just more of the signs of the desperate state that they're currently occupied. And it'd be nice if there were better movies that people were excited about, but we've had quite the drought for a good long while, and maybe it's too late. I don't know.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so. Anti-derivative Jill, have you experienced this bullshit?
No, I think I'm a lot like Doug. I'm not sure that I've experienced 30 minutes of ads. I'm going to have to bring a stopwatch the next time I go into the theater to see just how much it is. But I did think it was kind of goofy when I saw Superman that we got a car commercial along with it. So that was kind of unnecessary. I don't mind the movie trailers, but they definitely need to limit it.
Yeah, well, they're saying it's official, gang. Help us pay off our debts by sitting on your fucking ass for 30 minutes and watching our bullshit. Maria Menounos, Surf City, here I come. Let's go ahead now and let's go ahead and address the Gina Carano situation. Look. There are two valid viewpoints here. Harvey was very disappointed that we didn't get disclosure. We didn't go to discovery. Didn't rake Disney over the coals. Now, I pointed out to him we don't know the terms of the settlement. Pretty much all of our sources are telling my Hollywood agents that Gina has worked a deal and is going to be like coming back to Star Wars. Although people in the comment section of my videos are like, so what? You know, I'm just done with fucking Star Wars. I have no interest whatsoever in Star Wars. Support Gina, but yeah, not coming back. But on the other hand, I was happy if she's happy. You know, she said she was smiling. It's been a very stressful road for her. So personally, you know, on a human level, I was happy for her, even though I was disappointed that we didn't get what we fans desperately wanted, which is to know the dysfunction that's going on at Lucasfilm and Disney. So, you know, I'm interested in all of y'all's opinions, and maybe we can have a little back and forth about it if anyone feels strongly about it, because I know a lot of people are very, very disappointed. Gary, have you got any thoughts on this?
Well, you know, did I ever believe that Disney was going to let out what happened? No. And there's a reason for that, because they don't want it out, you know. Settle, you know, like, is it in Liar, Liar, Jim Carrey? Settle. You know, like, they're like, just fucking settle, you know. So, you know, if they allowed it to go to Discovery, then it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, right? Think about it.
Well, the problem is that, you know, people were saying, look, Elon Musk is footing the bill, and they can't wait Elon Musk out. They can't, you know, prolong it and you know, drive him to bankruptcy or anything. So really, she didn't have a whole lot of motivation to settle unless she got a shitload. But on the other hand, we get bupkis on this.
I agree. Deal. Yeah, I agree with that, because it's crappy that you know, we don't get to know. I mean, maybe we will one day. You know, those of us who know those people that know her will know. But I mean, you know, I don't know. Like, what are we gonna do? I mean, yeah, it's great she settled, but you know, maybe it would be cool to see her go back to Star Wars. I might watch that show. Am I ever going to watch any other Star Wars show? No.
Yeah, but, no, I hear you.
I'd support her on that, you know, but I mean, just because of her, it's weird to watch a Star Wars show to support a person and not Star Wars, but that's what I'd be doing, you know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, I've never thought that in a million years that I would say that, but yeah. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't know. It's, you know, Star Wars is already gone. You can't really save it. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of like, yeah, that's a bummer. I kind of feel like Doug. Yeah, so what? You know, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like Doug in this matter.
Oh,
excellent.
At last.
Yeah.
At last. The Dougitude is spreading.
Yeah,
that it is.
Good.
Let your indifference flow through. But Rob, what do you think about this? I mean, you're looking kind of pained.
I mean, it would have been interesting to see it go to Discovery, but I understand why Disney would not want it to go there. I mean, there's so many things that we can think of to point out on that camp. When I think about it from Gina's side, you know, one of the things that I remember going into this was that she not only wanted to star in her own show, but she wanted to get into writing and directing as well. And I think some of those promises were made to her with her own show as well on that. And so that was important to her. You know, the thing about it is that her reputation is important. And I don't know if this fully restored her reputation in Hollywood. I hope it does, because I definitely want to see her in, you know, whatever she wants to do. You know, maybe it's Star Wars, but if she wants to do other things, I hope this opens the door for her to get hired as an actress in other things. And also, if she wants to get behind the camera or write, I hope this opens doors for her as well. That's the important thing to me, just looking at her and thinking about her. But I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more dirt on the mouse. But, you think about this, if it had gone to Discovery, how many other lawsuits would have come up? How many social political, backlashes would the mouse have taken if some of the stuff that happened became public? It's pretty astronomical. So I think she got a lot, and I hope her reputation is restored and that she can get on with the career that she wants. That's what I'm hoping for. So I guess that part's a win, but it's disappointing that we didn't get more dirt.
Well, yeah, I mean that people are pretty upset. They thought, that she was not going to have any impetus to settle, and then she settled when shit was getting real. Sean, you got any thoughts about this? How did you react when you heard this?
I'm really happy about it. Actually, I'm happy for Gina Carano, and I think this is a good result because I mean, it's obviously Disney thought they had more to lose by going to trial, and whether or not there was a lot of dirt that would have come out in Discovery, probably was. But here's why it's a win, even though we didn't get the Discovery and everything. I'm pretty darn sure that Disney's not going to let something like this happen again. And I think that in itself is a win. If we don't get the results we wanted, at least maybe moving forward, maybe they'll stop pulling this kind of stuff and just hire people and make good shows. Hopefully this is a win in the culture war, at least.
All right. Well, that's a good perspective. I like that. That's interesting. Like I said, many sources are saying that, part of the deal. And I don't know. I mean, when so many sources are saying this, I mean, it could be disinformation or it could explain, because if she got to star in her own show, Rangers of the New Republic, and Jon Favreau was personally over it and wasn't going to get, the KK special treatment. You know what I mean? And there have been rumors that he's been working on something in secret, and I may have some more information about that, by the way. I don't know, it's interesting, but it's really interesting, Doug, that I did my rumor video, and in replies to that, a guy Bizarro on X said, Doomcock, why would it even matter? Star Wars is dead. They can make all the movies they want, but the feeling is gone. Do people really think Gina Carano is going to revive it? And a guy named Jonathan on X said, I love Gina, but Disney will never get another cent from me. So, that's kind of the common reaction. It's just like, is it too much, too little, too late, as the song goes?
It probably is for Star Wars overall. It depends. Man, this is going to have to be a really cool and great, whatever, Rangers of the Republic or whatever it's supposed to be, that kind of thing. Of course, very happy for Gina. And if she's happy with the deal and they managed to offer something that said, okay, we'll settle on that. And because it's her case, it's her decision. And I respect that. Would have been great for the Discovery, but I was dubious that I figured whatever they could offer, and it's full on. We'd like to work with Gina in the future, that kind of thing, which bends the knee and eliminates the blacklist that they put on her at the time, which was the absolute crime that they had committed. And so, that's her reputation restored as much as one can in these circumstances. And that's ultimately what she was pushing for overall for the case as far as damages and whatnot. And so it's a victory for her. Obviously, they had to go this way because of, again, the Elon money. That was, like, oh, God, what do we do? So, okay, if they make a show and all that, and her and Favreau wanted to do this and they finally get to do it. But the problem is you can't get those years back. Favreau's a mystery to me. If he's really determined to wait this out to do this when he's a talented guy who could be doing something else. I mean, because these are years he's never going to get back.
Yeah.
And what else could you have been doing instead of chasing Star Wars when everyone else is left? And the window closed some time ago. I'm sorry to say, I hate saying it, But what am I supposed to do? To keep lying or whatever, or they're dreaming and, I mean, the damage is severe. So, I mean, look, if this is where they're at this position, at best, you have an isolated product here and there. So there's some, Cara Dune movie or show, and you look at it, and it's fun and it's okay. Okay, that's great. But I mean, kind of seen evidence of that sort of thing already. That Skeleton Crew show was a cute little show. That was nice. Nobody watched it because the brand is so badly beaten down and ruined.
Yep.
So,
you're right.
Climb,
You're right. It's that's the state of Star Wars at this time. Jill, anything to add to this?
I don't know. I think you guys pretty much said it all in terms of it's good that she's got what she wanted, but will the problems that led to her firing in the first place actually ever get addressed, or can they just repeat next time they don't like what somebody says?
Well, that's the question. I think it's a complex issue. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. But consider that, she went 4 years now, basically blacklisted.
Yes.
Her agency dropped her representation in Hollywood dropped her. That's a lot of lost income. That's a lot of damage to her reputation, to her career. That settlement had to have been something pretty fucking substantial. I don't know the numbers, but there had to be something. And there also had to be something to at least take a shot at returning her to where she was. And that would seem to be a prime series. I mean, something that features her, something big. Otherwise, where's the repair to the harm? Where's her desire to settle? So I think we shouldn't judge, her without knowing what the settlement is. I mean, there was a post on X claiming it was $233 million, and then there's no backing up on that or anything. So I kind of discount that. But this Star Wars rumor is very interesting. She also indicated on a post where she was talking about the status of her life and everything post the announcement, and saying that she's about to go on a diet, and it's like getting ready for a part, perhaps. Maybe it's interesting. So I don't think we should judge Gina Carano. However, I think we should judge the fuck out of what is maybe the worst movie ever made. It's possible that this is the worst movie ever made, if you can even call it a movie. I'm talking about Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. And when I send out the agenda for the show this evening, I said, just watch as much as you can stand. Just watch maybe 5-10 minutes of it. Don't give yourself a hernia, or a prolapse, depending. Let's just go ahead and, because you don't look, the thing about this thing, and why I say it's probably the worstest ever movie, maybe even worse than Snow Woke, for fuck's sake, because the whole thing, and this, I'm not exaggerating, the whole thing, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a few snippets and then ran screaming from the room. But the whole thing is Ice Cube sitting at a desk watching the story unfold in little windows on his fucking computer, and that, it really is as bad as it sounds. It's fucking dismal. It's fucking dismal. It's really bad. And good God. And if you're gonna do that, you better have a Michael Fassbender or a Laurence Olivier or an actual actor, not Ice Cube. You need somebody that has more than one expression, You know, somebody who didn't record a song called "Giving Up the Nappy Dugout."
Oh,
Is that so much to ask? Somebody that can actually act, not like, not like what's his name, the pal of Clarence in True Romance auditioning for. Okay, William Shatner is holding on to the hood of your car and you're trying to lose him. Oh, I got Shatner on my hood. Oh no! I mean that's the level of acting from Ice Cube, from Mr. Cube. Yeah, can I call him Ice at this point? I've known him for a long time. And the little effects are, they're on the little screen, and and then somebody, like, to solve it, they have to order a drone from Amazon Prime. It's all on this computer screen. This thing was shot during COVID, so they figured, hey, this is a good way. We don't have to have any actors interacting. We don't have to have.
Is that true?
yes.
This sat on a shelf.
See, they have an excuse.
Oh,
God,
man.
no wonder it's so bad.
Yes, this is one of the most ill-conceived projects. For fuck's sake, just get his ass in front of a green screen, and
Well, it's so bad that we could probably reenact the entire movie using this live stream and Gary opening up a screen share.
Well, but Gary's a better actor than Ice Cube. That's really not fair,
I take that as a compliment, but that's not really saying much.
Well, it's not. Maybe what we could do is, like, when Andy comes on, he could hold a random action figure up into the front of the camera. And he could just do the lines, Is that a Martian? Oh
no. It's a Martian. Rob, look out. Look out. It's a Martian.
Oh, the Martian got Rob.
Oh, no.
The Martian got Rob. So, yeah. All right.
It's so terrible. The world's ending. Quick, somebody order Uber. I'm hungry.
Yes. What did you think, Gary Ambrosio?
Okay, so first off, I didn't read the part in the email when you said that we only have to watch as much as we can tolerate. I watched the whole fucking thing.
Oh
my
no!
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
You poor man.
Yeah, I did watch the whole thing. But okay, so it's interesting that you say that this was made during the lockdown, the COOF.
Right.
And because that shows you right there, let's make something, for people that are locked in home. Let's make a movie that's told through people who are locked on screens and can't leave the confinement of this tiny space.
Yeah.
How fucking out of touch is that? How fucking out of touch is that, man? I'm glad they stuck it on a shelf because, well, it doesn't matter anyway because the movie was total shit. But wow, like, and if you're gonna do it this way, this kind of Blair Witch found footage, kind of thing, to me it has to be all about the aliens. Really, there was the majority of the story was about the relationship between him and his daughter and him and his son. And
Wow.
like, really, you can't. You're already throttling our view to this little world like that. You know what I mean? Like if this was the aperture on a camera, it'd be a very dark image. You know what I mean? We have to see it through these little tiny screens and phones and things like that. And now we have to sit here and watch just close-ups of the faces of his kids crying and shit. And it's like, where's the fucking monsters, man? Where's the aliens? And the original War of the Worlds, of course, it was a radio program and it was done in the same style like this. But I mean, that thing had people jumping out of windows, like, actually, stopping their ability to breathe.
This one resulted in people jumping out of windows.
Exactly. This one, people, wanted to jump out of the window because, the movie was still on, not because they believed it, but because it exists. But yeah, it was rough. It was really rough.
Funny you should talk about Windows because the whole movie was Windows.
That's exactly what it was.
In Windows.
Wow, see?
It's exactly
thematic
what it was.
resonance.
Yeah, and it was rough, man. It was really rough. It was crud. So yeah, thanks. Next time I'll read the whole email. I didn't know you were allowing us, giving us the allowance of just watching as much as we can tolerate.
Well-
because again, I watched all 1 hour and 30 minutes and 46 seconds of it, and I was watching those seconds tick down. Like
Well-
Jack Bauer. Like tick, tick, waiting. Thank God.
Well, here's the quote breakdown from the email I sent out. War of the Worlds is the worstest movie ever. And then I say everyone should maybe watch just a few minutes of it, whatever you can handle. Maybe skip ahead to the Martian invasion so you can see how bad it was. I think there's rich comedy potential here. So
See, yeah, and thanks for reiterating it and rubbing it in. I appreciate it. I did not read the email, and it's an hour and a half. I'll never get back. So thanks.
Well, I think we should all take turns asking Gary questions about it. We can just go round table and ask him since he saw the whole movie. He's probably, I would wager, the only one here that saw the entire movie.
Not exactly.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
no.
Well,
I've got a
when-
comrade.
When it comes to Jill, we'll ask her too. But I'm going to lead off, Gary. So it was all about him and his kids.
Pretty
So
much.
did they do anything interesting with the relationship between him and his kids? Anything surprising? Like he sold them to the Martians or anything? Or is he just worried that they're going to get killed by the Martians?
Well, he was worried that they were going to get killed by the Martians. One of them, his daughter's pregnant, so she's giving birth. He throws her into a Tesla and drives the Tesla by himself through his little computer to get her out to safety. He calls up the deadbeat boyfriend, who obviously is weak and effeminate and is trying to get to her, and he's yelling at him for not being with her and all that. And then it turns
Also, the
out
Amazon driver.
yeah, and then it turns out that his son ends up being this like anonymous type hacker that hacked the government, and he ends up needing his son to hack into his own database after he's fired. He's fired while he's sitting at his computer to get back into the database, and his son, kind of helps him get back in. Very, very little of it I remember being about the tripods and what was going on, and it is like that's not interesting. And like you're saying, it's double fucked not interesting when it's Ice Cube. And I swear to you, this is not a fucking joke. In the beginning of the movie, I swear there's a line where he says, "Well, I got to get back to work, ho," and he's talking to a woman, on the camera. I'm not kidding. I rewound it. I'm like, did I hear that correctly?
Well,
I got to get back to work, ho. I'm like, wow.
Still
Was that
coming
how
up
he
the
was?
nappy dugout after all these.
Yep.
Is that what got him fired?
No. Well,
Oh,
they
damn.
can't fire him. He's a man of color. Can't do that.
No, he revealed the super secret conspiracy theory.
Yes, because
Oh,
it was
okay.
all us. It was we did it to ourselves or some bullshit. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
So, using duct tape to cauterize a wound or to stop the bleeding,
Mm-hmm.
really?
Well, I think he used it as a tourniquet, but they didn't really show it because you can't. How do you show it? They're not going to go, look, see what I did. Like it doesn't work because it's non-cinematic. It's supposed to be first person. So, it's funny that it's the one thing that the Amazon guy / baby daddy was confident about was, no, I got this. I got the packing tape right here. I'm going to stop the bleeding. And, he did. And you can tell because the father has a heart monitor on the daughter. And they're watching the heart monitor drop. So he knows every second. And the dad is insane. The dad's like spying on the daughter from every camera that he can in every part of town, every security camera at Starbucks. Why aren't you getting an egg? Why are you getting a bagel? It's like, oh my God, what the fuck is this movie about? Like,
To me, it also seemed video game-ish, like it's the cutaway scenes from video.
You know
games
what? It's funny you say that, Robert. It was like watching this movie is like watching somebody else play a video game and have a lot of fun, and you're just like, boy, I kind of wish I was playing this video game, because it looks like it's a lot of fun. There's shit blowing up and stuff, but it's just his reaction to it, like that. That's it. That's what I felt like. I felt like, wow, this must have been a real fun video game to play.
Jill, anything since you saw the whole thing? Then we're going to go to Sean and Doug.
Well, I only watched the whole thing because I love the original War of the Worlds novel, and I kept waiting for the kind of interactions you get in that book. I love H.G. Wells. It's people actually interacting with the aliens in the real world. I don't remember the part where we're supposed to watch it from a surveillance room. And my computer crashed today, Doomcock. I had to do a system restart. I forgot which F key to press to get to get into recovery. And oh no, to make sure my data didn't get destroyed. And that's also another thing this movie's about. It's the aliens eat the data for some reason. They're cyborgs who must eat.
Well, I mean, it's like A is for Apple, J is for Jax. It's that alphabet kind of cereal shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Who decided?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it. I just saw like some excerpts because I did say y'all don't have to watch the whole thing. I wouldn't have inflicted this on you, Sean. Any questions for Gary or Jill, or what did you think?
Well, I only watched about 25 minutes of it, and it was funny because I watched that before you sent that message out, and I was talking to someone a week or so ago, and I was like, and they were saying it's horrible, it's bad. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this just for the laughs, and they go, you're not gonna laugh, and they're right. This folks. Don't even watch this for the lulz, because they will not appear. I mean, like Gary was saying, Ice Cube has two expressions from what I saw. One of them was standard angry Ice Cube, and the other one was like this.
Yeah.
Puzzled, myopic Ice Cube.
Yeah, and I determined that this one was him reading the script.
Yeah.
They probably
if we can assume it was written, Sean.
Yeah. That's all we get. It's horrible. I mean, it's so stupid. Like the world all the infrastructure in the world is collapsing. All the satellites are going up, but he's able to still connect to every camera, every phone. All the messages are working. The phones are working just fine.
Oh yeah, he's got power. He's got air conditioning.
Yeah,
the lights are on. Okay.
And I think I got to the point where he said, "How you like me now?" And I was like, "Okay, that's enough."
Oh yeah,
that's enough.
Oh,
don't watch it, folks. It's not even worth.
Okay. Doug, any feedback on this or questions for Jill or Gary?
Well, no, the one question I had was, because I didn't see it. I did see a teaser for it and people discussing it. And I saw a scene where the daughter asks Ice Cube something or other about his work. And he says, that's classified. So not classified. I was like, yeah, okay. So he's just playing Ice Cube again. So, but yeah, the alien invasion scenario that War of the Worlds created, and I've always been a big fan of War of the Worlds, the novel, the radio show, the original movie, and even the Tom Cruise movie I liked, even I had problems with it, but I liked it. Better than this, I imagine. There's been other takes on it that are cheesy and pretty bad, but this one probably wins the prize. But anyway, right off the bat, you have an alien invasion. The first thing they're going to do is knock out your power. So there's no internet, there's no phones, there's no talking to each other, none of that.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I suppose if you were going to do a found footage version of it, you would have your own battery powered camera catching everything. But other than that, no, there's no way you can do this. And so the idea that he was, oh man, I got to place in an order with Amazon and the drones. Yeah, all that's going to work. The aliens are just like, hey, look at that. Well, don't worry about it. It's meaningless. But then again, I mean, I heard like Jill saying they eat data. So then I thought, so they got to leave the power on so they can eat the data, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. It's nice to know. It's comforting that in the event of alien invasion, Amazon will still be delivering packages, and
That's a good thing to know. Yes.
Yes.
people will still be in the warehouse, avoiding taking pee breaks and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
because they don't have time. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions for the veterans who saw all of the damn thing before we move
So
on?
in the end, did the alien still come down with a cold and die?
No, they had to use computer viruses to take them down. And
Oh, so they
but
ripped off
also-
Independence Day. So
Yes.
except they also added biology to it because they're also cyborgs. So the daughters, all the
Okay.
Iceberg and his kids are all super geniuses, and so she also
Iceberg.
has some kind of
Iceberg.
Iceberg.
Ice Cube.
Jillian.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You're
But I'm going to be an iceberg to the Martian Titanic.
That's right. No,
But there
Jill was mistaking him for the Jewish rapper Iceberg.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But there was another funny part where I actually did laugh when all the Martians were stealing the data, they're eating the data, and William gets a Facebook notification that his memories are deleting, and
Oh God.
and his dead wife's last message that he keeps on Messenger, he plays it over and over again. It goes away kind of like Daisy from 2001.
Oh, poor Hal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, in slow motion. And it's funny because he's literally watching like planes full of hundreds of people crash and burn and, buildings being destroyed and countries being annihilated. And he's just like, oh. But then when it comes to like his Facebook page being deleted, no. Like that's when the emotion comes out. That did happen. That did happen.
Well, Facebook's his whole world, Gary. He sits
know
on his
it.
ass all day in front of that screen.
That's right.
I know
Planes
it, man.
dying, countries collapsing. Yeah, well, it happens. But don't you take my Facebook memories.
Yeah, and I wasn't telling you about my computer crashing. It did today, but I wasn't telling you that to be boring. I was telling you that because somebody decided that would make a good movie.
Yeah, right. Well, that's sure. Well, maybe that's the sequel, War of the
Yeah.
Worlds 2, The Jillening or something, maybe. I don't know. But I do know that, last week I asked, is Fantastic Four going to go ahead and make money and be a success? And it turns out Fantastic Four is a fantastic flop, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fantastic flop. There's no two ways about it. In its third week, it had another, like in the second week, it had a 67% drop off on business. And then the following week, this last week, it dropped off 60%. And it brought in $15.5 million. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Every single week, it seems like it's the profits are getting cut more than half, 60%. So we can figure next week, more likely than not, it's going to make somewhere in the vicinity between $7 and $8 million. Well, that's a flop, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a little graphic to show you, courtesy of Matt McGloin over at Cosmic Book News. I want to share this with you because it shocked the shit out of me. This is interesting. These are the biggest losers at the box office for Marvel. And you can see that the worst one is the Marvels at 218 million down there. Thunderbolts, 382 million. Incredible Hulk, 396 million. Captain America, Brave New World, 415. And then we have Fantastic Four First Steps with 435. Okay. This is worldwide box office. Now, here's the scary thing. Right now, it's below Black Widow. It's below the Eternals. It is below Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum fucking Mania. All right. And let's say now, if you're going to add, let's say $8 million next week, that's going to take it up to what? 443 million or something. and then cut that the next week to maybe 4, and you're going to add to
Mhm.
that, it may not even catch Black Widow. Well, sure as shit not going to catch the Eternals. It's not going to catch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is bad news, folks.
Yeah, it's got to break 500. Just it's got to hit 500 to break even, and start
Well,
making profit.
it's not gonna do that at this pace.
No.
I mean, here's a sobering statistic. Get this far. I had this in my video yesterday. So, in its 3rd week at the box office, Thunderbolts brought in more money than Fantastic Four did. Thunderbolts brought in 16.62 million or something, and Fantastic Four brought in 15.5. So Thunderbolts now is beating Fantastic Four, even though because of its very strong opening weekend, it leapfrogged over Captain America and Thunderbolts. It's now on a par with that. I would say that this is evidence of a crisis. I mean, if you look at that list, most of those movies are post Endgame, and they're kind of descending in terms of the later releases. The newest releases, basically, the lower they are towards the charts, with the exception of the Marvels. And yeah, I mean, this is a trend. And this is mind blowing. So I don't know, Doug, what do you think about this?
It's more of the same. It's the overall brand, Marvel brand is badly damaged. Because the movie in and of itself, it's just all right. It's not as bad as the Marvels. It's nowhere near as bad as Thor: Love and Thunder, which was god awful, which isn't even on that list, was amazingly enough. Pretty bad movie. Eternals is the worst one on that list by far, but it came out at a time when the brand damage hadn't really occurred just yet.
Metastasized.
Right. You still had, and you had, and as bad as that was, the foolishness of that enterprise was enough time for you to, change course, correct, and all that. They didn't. And this is it, what can you do? You can have a good movie, possibly, and it's not going to be enough. It's just, I mean, all you got left now is Spider-Man will probably do all right. And then that's it. This Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, I don't know. They
better get their shit together, and they better.
It's not going to save them.
Well, I don't know what will. I mean, it's maybe Spider-Man Brand New Day is looking pretty cool.
Yeah, but that'll be like, okay, you got a good Spider-Man movie. It'll probably make its money. But your machine that you made that dominated Hollywood and all that, no, you burnt that to the ground. And Fantastic Four shouldn't have bombed this bad, but it did.
Well, it was mediocre.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
extremely.
I mean, and I'm not even certain if it had been really good.
Right.
Well,
you got to get people into the theaters.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Star Wars. I mean, a lot of people, whenever I, express optimism in my videos for, I'm pulling for Marvel to pull out of this death spiral. I'm pulling for Star Wars to pull out of this, because obviously if they do, that means that they're back on track and they're making things that appeal to mass audiences and fans like us. And that means it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for us and it's a win for them. And that's ultimately what I want. I get tired of having to do these negative reviews. I get so tired of it. I really do. I would love to give them a great review like I did with Werewolf by Night. I loved everything about Werewolf by Night. I was foaming at the mouth for that shit. It was great. But they won't help me. Help me, Disney. Help me to fucking help you. Will you please? Oh my God. But no. Jesus Christ. Gary, what do you think of that? I mean, it just seems like it's a trend, and I don't think it's superhero fatigue, because I mean, Superman did a lot better.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Pedro Pascal. We're
Yeah.
talking about, I think honestly, guys, like Doug was saying, I'm a normie, and the movie itself is not. It's okay. It's mediocre. It's the problem is that I think people that really love this stuff are sick and tired of watching this canon be bastardized. They're tired of being told that, Pedro Pascal is a movie star, because he's not. He's not Burt Reynolds. That's a big problem. That's a lot bigger than people give credit, I think. It was certainly that. If it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't have gone and saw it because of him. I don't want to see this guy. I don't like anything that he does. I really don't.
Yeah.
And that would have been the reason, because I liked superhero movies. I don't anymore. I'm done with them, especially after Fantastic Four and Superman. But really, that to me is the big problem. Is PP Pascal?
No, I listen.
Huge.
There's Pedro Pascal fatigue, and I made a video about that, and I said, this was back when there was the rumor, and maybe it was true, I don't know, that Pedro Pascal was going to head up the Avengers in Avengers Doomsday. But then they came out and said, no, because his agent had said that, or no, it was the director, right?
The
Matt
director.
Yeah, he had said. So he's going to, go from, the scientist to heading up the Avengers. And I'm like, oh, shit. Because I said, there's Pedro Pascal fatigue. It's real. And in another year and a half, it's only going to be worse. So, you might, while you're shooting this, instead of reshooting it later, you might want to rethink this and just, tuck him in the background, just kind of have him, back there with a test tube or two, and just don't put him up front and center, because we're sick of him. We're just sick of him, And he's crazy. I mean, you don't know what the fuck he's going to do in the meantime. What else is he going to be waving over his head and licking?
Good Lord.
Has he been going to WNBA games?
Yeah, he goes out onto the court with his mouth open.
I don't know. I have no idea.
He's like
but I tell you, it's disturbing.
Hey, Pedro, catch.
Rob, what do you think?
I think the normies are kind of waking up to this. I don't think they like effeminate men like Pedro Pascal, and they sure as heck don't like the fact that some of the female characters are over supersized. And I mean, I talked to a normie at work this week, and he basically said, "Did you see Fantastic Four?" I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Why is Sue Storm so powerful? There's no way that she could do what she does at the end of the movie and push Galactus and the thing." Like, yep, that's exactly right. He's like, "This is getting dumber and dumber." And I'm like, "Yes, now you get it." And I think that people are waking up to this garbage that Disney's writing, where they're playing these tropes to the extreme. And they do this in the movie. It's subtle, but you get a very effeminate Mr. Fantastic who is not a confident person, who doubts himself, who is always apologizing. And you got Sue Storm, who is like a girl boss who could do no wrong, who has, more powers than anybody else. I mean, why does she even need the rest of the team? And normies are waking up to that and understanding that, and word of mouth is spreading. And so I think that's a big part of this, is that people don't want to see that kind of crap. They want to be superheroes to be a team, or to be who they see in the comics, or who they're supposed to be. And it's all this political garbage behind the scenes that's affecting all this. Just like you said in your video today, guys, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Where, Doomcock goes down the road that the guy who wrote X-Men 97 got fired for it, because he wanted to do a show that was like the comic book and like the original cartoon. And they basically told him no. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's true. Sean, I just had a brilliant idea, how they could have made the Galactus thing work a lot better. So, we wasted a whole fuck ton of time with the cooking class with, Herbie and, gentle Ben Grimm, right? It's okay, Herbie. Now we're going to go ahead and add the sauce, right? So What if Herbie saves the day by remembering the goodness of, Wesson cooking oil, and he is running around behind real fast, like spraying the cooking oil underneath Galactus's feet as Sue pushes, and then he's kind of gliding backwards like the nun in Blues Brothers towards the portal. Because how's he going to have traction with the cooking oil? You see, it would have worked with Astro Lube, but I didn't want to go there.
Oh well,
because for obvious reasons. Sean, what do you think of that idea? It would have been funny zigzagging. He's going back at like dun 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 dun, up and down. They're sliding. And he's going, Lord, he's like his face is puffing up and red, and he's waving his arms over his head. And dun 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 dun. No, not the cooking class, not the cooking class. Dun, 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 dun. What do you think?
Yeah, they get Sandy Duncan in there to do the spot for it afterward, and she pours it on the ground. Oh man, it would have made it funnier, but I think Gary's right there. This is Pedro. The movie itself wasn't bad enough to do as poorly as it's performing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go back, and I heard some interesting stats that it was families did not go see this movie, and they did go to see Superman. And there's only one thing I can think of that would have kept families out is Pedro's behavior in the past few months. The licking the thing and the stuff he said and the ridiculous things that comes out of his mouth and the ridiculous things that he wears. It's not just Pedro fatigue, it's Pedro revulsion. I personally have my own story. Like my wife goes to all the movies that we go to for the show. My wife always goes with me. She would not go see Fantastic Four. She goes, no, I don't want to see it. I go, why not? She goes, because Pedro Pascal's in it. She can't stand him. Wow. So I don't even look at that guy. So she's revolted by him. I think that's what it is. This guy's poison.
Well, he's smarmy. I'll give him that. He's smarmy.
Yeah. In all the wrong ways.
Yeah, right. But Doug, what do you think of that idea? Come on, Herbie with the cooking oil. Come on.
Oh, the cooking oil. Yeah, well, it could have been better. It's either that or they would have had to read the comics where if Galactus doesn't feed on time, he gets weak and they can defeat him. But no, they didn't bother with that because that's don't read though. So they're probably really pissed hearing your ideas. Damn, that's brilliant. Yeah, they didn't get to do it. Because kitchen items, and plus the product placement, Sandy Duncan and all that.
Sure.
Damn it. Well, too late now, huh?
Yeah. And it gives the whole cooking bullshit, boring opening a reason to live. Right?
That's right. Chekhov's law with cooking oil. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. If there's a bottle of Wesson on the wall in Act 1, it better be used by Act 3. 100%.
Yes, better have Galactus slip and fall into the galactic portal or whatever. Yeah,
hilarious. That would have been
so. Pedro's a factor, but there's other things to it as well. Especially, you got to stop gender swapping, which they did with Silver Surfer. Yeah, the actress did all right and everything, and that's fine and everything, but just no patience for that whatsoever. Yeah. And no more race swapping and all that stuff. Just stop doing that.
I agree, but the Silver Surfette, ironically, was the best character in the movie.
Well, she's a good actor.
For real.
She's really good.
She really was.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting you.
I find something else for her to do. You just got to stop doing that with decades-old characters.
I agree. Jill, any feedback on this? And welcome to the show, Andy Masterson.
Hi, Andy. I liked Mole Man. He was pretty cool. That was...
You mean Stingray?
Yeah, Stingray from Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about the financials and all of that. It'll be lucky if this thing breaks even. I'm not sure if it's on track for that or not. But
I don't think it is. But this
Andy, is kind of just a middling movie.
No, I agree. I mean, there's not a lot to say about that, but I mean, are you fed up with Pedro Pascal being a woman yourself?
like it's a really uncomfortable time to be anywhere near him if you are a lady. Like if you, God forbid, you get your nails done, he's gonna beg to stare at them.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Or stroke them. That's possible. Andy, you've seen Weapons, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, we're
Yes.
gonna talk about that in the next hour, but right now, and yeah, Jill, you're dropping in volume. Oddly enough, I don't know if you're moving your head or if there's a short in the mic, but you might want to. It's kind of alternating, like loud, soft, loud, soft. You might want to look at that real quick. All right, let's go ahead and do some super chats here, shall we? All righty, folks. Let's take a look at what you guys have to say, and I want to thank you all for being here. And yeah, it's been a hell of a week. There's just a lot going on. You know, Superman is leaving theaters and going on to digital, even though it's still making money. Some people are saying that's a real mistake. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit about that when we come back as well. But we got to get to your super chats, folks. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. We read every single super chat that we get on this show. Let's see, Mr. Eagle Flying with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Mr. Eagle Flying. Says, DVD, I saw a great Christmas gift for you, a set of original Star Wars movies on Laserdiscs. Not the special editions, the originals. I did not buy them because you may not have a player available. Well, you're very kind to think about me, Mr. Eagle Flying, but I actually have the Star Wars movies on Laserdisc, the box set, the full box set. And I do have a working Laserdisc. I don't generally watch Laserdiscs anymore, but for an archive situation like that, well, it's totally worth it. But God bless you for being such a good friend, Mr. Eagle Flying, and I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Got the nicest damn people in the entire world in this fandom here on this channel. Sigvaldason, the high priest of the cult of Harvey, with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Sigvaldason, says, and I'm not going to read this bullshit. Well, I will read it instead. He says, another fantastic Wednesday and another great episode of Harvey Cthulhu's Pop Culture Breakdown. Fuck you, Harvey. Another fine Harvey Cthulhu production show. Remember that Sigvaldason is a member of the cult of Harvey and is therefore not entirely sane. Hail to you, Sigvaldason. Thank you for the support, you deranged cultist, you. And Admiral Teague with a $5 super chat. Hail, Admiral Teague says, hail, DC. The episodes of Strange New World are too close together for my brain to recover. It's bad as smoking. Sadly, I go back to the agonizer booth again tonight. I will not watch Suck New Worlds. I do not think it's funny that they're shitting all over the original Star Trek. I think that they're as dumb as fucking dirt. I don't know why, so many people are deluded into thinking that just because a guy puts on a blue fucking shirt and has, some plastic pointed ears that he's fucking Spock. He's nothing like Spock. And, Anson Mount is nothing like Captain Pike. That shit thing that roller disco. I don't know what the fuck that fucking plastic thing is that they're riding around in. It's not the fucking Enterprise. It's an insult. I don't know, the they, them that's, supposedly Khan's, grandniece or masseuse or some shit. I don't know, they, them at the helm there. Fuck the whole fucking thing. It just makes me sick. I'm doing a rant about this. You just fucking triggered me because I just recorded a rant about this for my channel members out there. Cause it's like banging your head against the wall, but to complain about this, but Strange New Worlds is just as shit as Pucard, as fucking Discovery. It sucks. It sucks. It's an insult to cognition. It's just a goddamn shipping show. Fuck that shit. Unbelievable. So, God bless you, Admiral Teague. And I think our crash test smarty, Doug Nelson, also watches that shit to review it. But for God, I am not that cruel to inflict this shit upon the panel of this show. Oh God, there's no words for how much I hate this fucking shit. It's just sodomizing Star Trek. It's sodomizing the memory of Gene Roddenberry, his legacy, and it's killed the franchise because it's driven so many people away from it. I don't know if they'll ever come back. I don't know if they'll ever come back after such grievous insults as have been leveled for years and years and years by Secret Hideout. Fuck that.
All I could hope for is that where it's put out of its misery and Secret Hideout isn't allowed to make it anymore. And I'm also only talking now just to see, is my microphone a lot better yet?
So far. Well, yeah, so far. Thank you, Jill. Kurt James with a $9.99 super chat. Hail to you, Kurt James says, Sabu, you rascal. I heard you cleaned out the total supply of vanilla ice cream. Hail all. Happy Wednesday to the chat. Wrenches, Sabu, Harvey, Skull of Calderon, and Lord Doomcock. Hail to you, Kurt James. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. And we will go ahead and get that vanilla ice cream restocked down there in the lounge. Hail to you, my friend. And thank you for alerting us to this situation. SP4H will probably tend to it. He keeps that stuff stocked. Mr. Eagle Flying with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Mr. Eagle Flying says fewer super chats for a while. September is Mrs. Eagle's 76th birthday month, and October will be our 25th anniversary. But you are a budget line. Grin. Hail to you, Mr. Eagle Flying. God bless you. Happy birthday to Mrs. Eagle Flying, and happy upcoming anniversary in October. Gosh, what a great month to have an anniversary. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, let us know when it's her birthday. Of course, we're going to sing happy birthday to her, as you well know, sir. God bless you, Mr. Eagle Flying. And Scott V, been a channel member 40 months at the Doomentite level. Hail to you, Scott V. He says, hail Doomcock and panel. I was on vacation last week. No TV or internet. Missed you guys. Any new rumors since the sale of Star Trek owners? Love you guys. Live long and prosper. Yes, I have received some information from a longtime source, but I am not going to go with this until I am like rock solid on this. You know, it'll still be presented as a rumor, but I'm not going to. Kurtzman is too slippery a customer. He's just too, he's like Dracula in, the Hammer movies. At one point, Dracula is fucking dust, a pile of fucking dust. And a guy digging him up accidentally like nicks himself and drops a few drops of blood on the pile of ashes that was Dracula, and boom, Christopher Lee's back. So, dot my T's and cross my I's on this shit before I go with this rumor. But I'm trying to confirm this stuff. Patience, Scott V. All will be known. Sigvaldison with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Sigvaldison says, Doomcock, I went to see Naked Gun after your review. I haven't reviewed Naked Gun. It was a fun movie. Did you see a genuine comedy? Glad to see a genuine comedy in the theaters currently. Hail to you, Sigvaldison. Well, it was talked about on Pop Culture Breakdown. Maybe that's what you're talking about. But no, I have not seen Naked Gun, nor am I going to go see it because not one fucking thing in the trailer made me laugh. Nothing. Zero. And I just don't. I don't think Liam Neeson's funny. So, but we'll see. We're going to have a review of that here, along with a discussion about Happy Gilmore 2. And we're also going to have some reviews of weapons here and King of the Hill. We got a lot to do. I better get on it. Jack White with a $20 super chat. Hail to the great Jack White, anime and manga master. He says, hail, my lord. I got your email response. I'm happy to hear you checked out that Sargon video about the right side of history. I hope you found it enlightening. And new series recommendation, A Couple of Cuckoos. Yeah, man, that was very interesting, dude. That was very interesting, and I appreciate you taking the time to send me that stuff. You stay well informed, sir, and I appreciate you shooting me that stuff. As you often you keep me apprised of games and in anime and stuff, and it means a lot to me. Warachi with a $5 super chat. Hail Warachi says Gary's ration for the day: trimmed pork chops fried twice, white sausage gravy, twice baked potato, broccoli, Texas toast, blueberry cobbler with vanilla ice cream. See, you were blaming Sabu. That's where the fucking vanilla ice cream went, to Gary. Gary is enjoying the vanilla ice cream. Son of a bitch. Well, mystery solved. Sorry, Sabu. I know it's unfair. I shouldn't judge you prematurely. Shrubby 1989's been a channel member 48 months at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, Shrubby. He says 4 years. It's been 4 years, and I've only been in this battle for 4 years. Damn you, Harvey, you warp squid child support dodger. Well, hopefully, knock wood. Oh, geez. Hail to you, Shrubby 1989. And Trevin Lane has been a channel member for 26 months now at the Dumentite level. Hail, Trevin Lane. He says, hail, DC panel and chat. I've been hearing good things about the upcoming Battlefield 6, as it seems that EA has learned that woke equals broke. Well, thank God for that. I've heard some good things about it, too, and I've seen some gameplay examples. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think I'm going to play that sucker. Dan Crane's been a channel member 46 months at the Dumentite level. And he says, hail, my lord and liege Doomcock. Hail to you, Dan Crane. Great to see you today, my friend. Trevin Lane with a $5 super chat says, I've been hearing the data centers are causing a lot of drain on the power grid. Yet another reason to be leery of the AI train running through tech. Yeah, no shit. It's mining crypto, which is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And then, AIs. So yeah, we kind of need the fucking power grid. This frivolous bullshit is just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous to me. And I see that Jack White is a producer on tonight's Pop Culture Breakdown. Hail to you, Jack White. He has 3 $10 super chats. God bless you, producer Jack White. And he says, some series to watch that will hopefully brighten the remainder of your week. Dragon Ball, Eden's Zero, banished from the hero's party, I decide to live a quiet life in the countryside. One Piece anime. And there's a trailer for One Piece season 2, by the way. We forgot to talk about that. Baka and Test, Gintama. I'm giving the disgraced noble woman I received a crash course in naughtiness. I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. More than a married couple, but not lovers. Ukes, Our Last Crusade of the Rise of a New World, or The Rise of a New World. God's Games We Play, Liar Liar, Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You, 365 Days to the Wedding, Wistoria Wand and Sword, The Melancholy of Harui Suzumiya. In other words, Jack knows a lot of anime and manga, and those are some suggestions for you all to consider. All right, folks, let's go ahead and move on now to some of our reviews. Let's go ahead and start out talking a little bit about King of the Hill. We held off, last week. We kind of, started talking about, I had seen it then, but, some of you hadn't. So now that you've seen it, I guess maybe a few of you haven't seen it, or who hasn't seen it? You haven't?
I've not seen it. I have not seen it yet.
Wow. God, really?
I have not seen it either.
I've not seen it.
But you've seen Strange New Worlds, Doug.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Boy, I tell you what, the boy ain't right.
Confirmed. Doug is a masochist.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's talk about the new King of the Hill. I understand that it's the champion of streaming. It's killing it. It's just getting ratings out the out the wazoo. It's a big success. I watched it, and I have look. I'm very positive on it. I think it's funny. I think it's really great, and I don't really have criticisms of it per se, but watching it is a little bit of a jarring experience because of the culture shock that they're putting in there. On the one hand, I thought it was only supposed to be about 8 years after, the basic King of the Hill. I mean, that's what I had heard anyway. But, they're kind of in this modern world of ours, with, non-gender specific restrooms and, well, that's the way you get canceled and, stuff like that. It's not woke, but there is woke elements that Hank is observing, kind of crowding in, around the edges. And on the one hand, I like seeing his reactions to it. On the other hand, I'm so sick of it that I don't even want to make fun of it. I don't even want to like think about the shit. But they do a great job with it. I'm certainly not criticizing them for it, and I know that they want to be topical. But I just kind of wish they just picked it up and not had it be so current. But I tell you, Hank's reactions to this shit, like it's trying to decipher what the two images on the bathrooms mean, and and I love the little squirts of tinkles as he's trying to my urethra's just getting increasingly narrow as time goes by. It was they're all lined up outside, and they've been in and I sell Saudi propane and Saudi propane accessories. It's just it's a joy to see it, but it's so jarring seeing this fucking woke shit elements intruding on his world that I kind of wish we could have done without it. It's not really a criticism, I understand, but and also the animation's different, but they couldn't do the same, farming out to Korean animation when it costs too much. Now it's more digital computer, stuff. But honestly, I think it's really, really good. And I love seeing Hank again, and Boomhauer, Bill. Geez, Bill needs to call up Andy Masterson and get a little help there. But I really like it, and kudos to Mike Judge. I mean, Beavis and Butthead on Paramount Plus didn't lose a step. Didn't lose a step, and that's why I was thinking, Mike Judge isn't going to let this show get ruined by these fucking, Hank isn't going to use they them and pronouns on himself. Peggy's not going to be a man. Bobby's going to be Bobby. He always was. But what do y'all think about it? That's kind of my nutshell. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, although if there's a specific gag that you really liked, you could probably talk about it. But let's just go around in a circle. And Gary, you've seen it. What'd you think?
I thought it was hilarious. I really enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. I know that you've got like the burnout on how they, sort of they have to address woke bullshit, but then they joke at it at least, and they're like, I get that, but at least they're joking at it. You know what I mean? At least they're
I agree.
Back.
I agree.
I really like my favorite joke so far is when his wife is giving him like guilt trips about how they used to live in Saudi Arabia. The way she pronounces it is so fucking funny to me. And then like where they actually lived was funny. That was funny the way they did that. I won't give too much away, but I'm really enjoying it. So did you see the entire season?
No, not everything. No, not yet.
Okay, well, maybe they just had to do the first episode, kick it off, with addressing the woke shit, get it out of the way, and maybe they'll move more on to the story. I don't know, because I've only seen the first episode, but I laughed my ass off, so I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I really enjoyed it. It was a great palate cleanser right after that stupid War of the Worlds shit. But I thought that it looked great. I like the animation. I guess you said it was different, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can tell there's a lot of computer stuff like that. It's not the same kind of limited Korean studio animation that they'd farm out,
Okay. Now, okay. So was this shot a long time ago?
No, I don't think
this is
so.
Recent. Okay. Yeah. So aren't we missing some of these actors?
Yes.
Now. Okay. So have there been replacements for these actors?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had to. Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah. I personally, I couldn't tell because I've seen the show maybe once in its full run, before I never rewatched it over and over again. But I I thought it moved pretty seamlessly. Like I said, I thought it was hilarious. I like where the story's going so far, so I'm gonna keep watching, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to watch all of
Yeah.
it. I love Mike Judge's work. I think he's awesome.
He's great. He's hilarious, man. He's always been spot on.
Yeah. And, Doug now has been transferred to a cell, as you can see, because he's been a naughty boy. He watched Suck New Worlds instead of King of the. I mean, in a sense, that's self-abuse. That's punishment. But should I punish him on top of everything? Maybe. I don't know. Doug, since you, how do you like your accommodations?
Well, I didn't understand that there would be a smell.
Right? It stinks.
So, yeah.
That's on me. That's on me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So this is. Oh, so you're in another one, a newer one now.
Right. I'm in 21B//296/C. You're in 29//D, I believe.
Yeah. In other words, Gary's in the honeymoon suite, and you're in the Econo Lodge cell.
Right. Well,
hopefully this is only temporary.
Mine is so much nicer and more spacious, and looks totally different than his.
Yeah.
Well, but don't be coy. You've got your suite, beyond the other door. Don't. Well, now you do.
What?
Well, not you, Doug. Not you.
There's just a bucket back there. What am I supposed to do with that? Am I supposed? Oh, geez.
Well, you're supposed to empty it. That's the smell.
Where?
But you'll get a briefing. You're new.
Yeah.
You'll be shown the ropes.
Doug, the facilities will be upgraded when you actually start watching things like War of the Worlds and other shows that you missed out on this week. So sorry, buddy, but
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, there you go. But enjoy. And Rob, what'd you think of King of the Hill?
I sadly have not had the opportunity to see it. It's on Hulu, and I don't get Hulu.
All right, shit, Sean.
Mhm.
Well, Sean, dadgummit, did you take a look at the show, and what do you think of it?
I thought you were great, Hank. Yeah, I saw the first 2 episodes. I started the third one, then I realized I had to get back to work. But it was good. The first episode was really felt like a reintroduction of the characters and kind of describe where Hank's been and why he's been away, and it was done really well. And I know I hear what you're saying about the topics of the show, but Hank's always been kind of a fish out of water, and this was one way to really get him out of the water to be woken up at what happened, no pun intended. But I have a feeling they're going to kind of get away from that. They just had to establish the characters,
sure,
and show us where they are. It was great. I love it. I mean, I'm not spoiling anything, but it's years later, so Bobby's grown, and it's kind of cool to see that they have a little bit different relationship, but he's still going to kick his ass if he needs to, and it's great. And the replacements of the voice, the guy does sound like Dale, the new guy, so they're doing good with it. I like it.
I agree.
I'm looking forward to watching more.
I agree. Jill, did you watch it or no?
I think she said no. She might be away.
I did. I didn't get a chance, but after hearing what you guys have to say, I want to watch it. I'm just afraid of what they did to Dale. So how is he? I would picture him being maybe off the grid and stuff. What kind of?
He's the same Dale, just older.
Yeah, I thought it was really kind of clever in the first episode where they had John Redcorn and Nancy like, oh, we're just going to be so happy here, Shug. And you kind of think, well, we know that the actor playing Dale died, so I guess he's dead on the show. And then it's like a commercial and they're partners, and Dale's fine. I mean, that was very clever, very meta. And Andy, you have not seen it either.
No.
Boy.
Yeah,
boy.
it's been a busy week.
All right. Well, fair enough. Did you see Strange New Worlds, Andy?
No, I haven't seen that. I've seen.
You hear that, Doug? You hear that?
I've seen.
I noticed there's more sales in the hallway, so
Yeah, well, but Andy did see something good, and that is a movie called Weapons. Now, I sadly I have not had a chance as of yet to see Weapons myself, but I've heard it's really, really good. And how many of you guys have on the panel have seen Weapons? No.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, so the center squares here have seen it.
Yes.
So let's start out with Andy because he hasn't had a chance to say much at this point. Let's not give away any spoilers or anything that could compromise the enjoyment of the show. But I've heard, like, I've been following Bo DeMayo on X. He's spilling a lot of stuff about X-Men '97 and what it's like to work inside the Marvel Studios slaughterhouse, as he deemed it. And he keeps talking about, man, this is like the second night I've woke up from a nightmare because of Weapons. So tell us, how is it, and what do you think of it?
Well, the basic plot is delivered in the first trailer, where it's got the little girl narrating about something that happened in her town 2 years ago, and it starts to unfold. It's very interesting. When I first started watching, I had a hard time getting into it. I was waiting for something, and it sort of meanders, and it doesn't seem to make much sense the way it's doing it. But then it falls into place with it, and it goes from the story, and you're seeing bits and pieces from each of these characters that are introduced from their point of view, and then it ties together. There is nobody likable in this film, but it's understandable how they're reacting to this. There's nobody you're like really like, man, I really like this guy, I'm rooting for him. It's like, all right, you're a bit of a dick and you're kind of kooky, and you're like, but it's funny the way it works out, because you can see how normal people would sort of act this way, and it jumps out at you, and there's certain things that you're going to see with it. It's disturbing. It is very disturbing. It's not explicit. There's one adult scene with it, but there's no nudity or anything like that. But it's kind of trashy the way it's done, and there's some repercussions from it. There's a little profanity going, and there's some gore, but it's not, nothing is overly done. It is really, really well done, and it's entertaining. And I usually pride myself on figuring out mysteries and horror movies ahead of time. There was very little in this that I figured out before it happened, which really was refreshing to me. It's a lot of fun. It goes by pretty quick. I don't know the runtime of it, but it didn't feel like I was in the theater very long for it, which was a plus. But yeah,
well, would you say it's actually scary or no?
It's disturbing. There are some scary scenes in it, a couple of jump scares, but it's disturbing. It's sort of and I can't go into too much detail without giving the plot away.
Spoilers,
but it's disturbing in sort of an Exorcist sort of way. Like you're like, well, that could kind of happen.
Shit. Well, that's kind of scary. So you recommend this movie?
Yes, and you'll never look at Amy Madigan the same way.
Oh shit. All right. I see there's like some horror going on under your desk, or I don't know what those sounds are, but I'm disturbed. All right, let's go to Doug. Doug, what'd you think of it?
I pretty much agree with Andy on this. The trailer does give you the setup, and that's the opening of the film, and all of that. And it's kind of, I suppose you could call it a slow burn as it goes, as it unfolds, and what happened. And it's this dark mystery. It's very depressing, and yeah, what I totally agree with is disturbing. It's a very disturbing movie. I don't think it'll give me nightmares. There is some gore in it and that sort of thing, but nevertheless, it's a fascinating run on it. And by the time the reveal and whatnot, and there were some earlier things, I said, oh, it must be something of this nature. As to what the ultimate cause was, it takes a while before you finally get to what that is and that sort of thing. but the run through it, you're not bored with it. It leads you through. You're carried through with the characters. There's credibility to why they are who they are and what their reactions and that sort of thing. So nothing is sloppy about it, and everyone does a good job on it. And then it's a strange thing. It's a very weird movie in the sense that it's very dark, disturbing, of course, and then it kind of, there's comedic elements. It's a strange way it works out, but it works, and so I recommend it.
All right, shit, I'm getting excited. Well, Gary, am I going to like this movie or am I not going to like this movie?
Oh, I think you're going to like it for I think you're going to like it for a few reasons, but one of the reasons that I liked it was scary, and it was scary enough. It's not like Evil Dead scary. I mean, that it's not quite Exorcist scary, but there's some good scares in it. But the thing that I liked about it was the story. It was good. And what I didn't know anything about the movie, and the title gives away nothing. Nothing at all. And it's like a horror movie, but it's told in the style of Pulp Fiction.
Wow.
So that's all I'll say. That's the only thing I'll give away. But really, the performances are good. Josh Brolin's awesome. Andy, you were saying that you didn't really root for anybody. You didn't root for Josh Brolin?
Yeah, but I like him, but he's not. He's sort of a dick. He's doing like dog toy puppies. So
sure.
So he's very funny, like with the way that he comes across. He doesn't give a shit. He's got his agenda. He doesn't care who gets in his way, and he's kind of doing his thing. Yes, I like him in that part, but the way he's talking to everybody else, you can see why everybody else looks at him and he's not very likable to the rest of the people in town.
Well, I loved him, maybe because I identify with him, and that's how I would handle that.
I agree. I agree.
I understand the point you're making, Andy, but he's the least flawed of those characters.
Yes,
certainly
true.
Morally, and he's perfectly understandable about his attitude. And
right.
And Gary and I were discussing this too, and they had talked about Pedro Pascal doing that role. It would have ruined the role if he had done it. Josh Brolin did it because Josh Brolin could do it.
That's okay. That's another thing I was going to mention. This was supposed to be Pedro Pascal's movie.
No,
it was supposed to be him.
Didn't know that.
Yes, it was supposed to be him as a Josh Brolin role, and he bailed out to ruin Fantastic Four, and he did. And we thank you for that.
Thank you, Pedro.
I would have much rather had Josh Brolin in Fantastic Four as Mr. Fantastic. That would have been top notch. But at least we got a decent horror movie without PP Pascal, and Brolin did a great job. There's he's got a scene in it. The performance it was so refreshing. It was so awesome to watch. He's really, really good. He's also a producer on the movie, but I mean, I heard the movie's making bank. It was cheap, didn't cost much to make. And I really think that, keep in mind it's a low budget horror movie, the best kind. And to me, the story was great. That was what was important about it. So, and it's, when you're faced with limited budgets, you have to get creative, and really story and writing is what you have. That's the thing that doesn't cost anything. You have to have the talent to write a story and to write a script, but it doesn't cost you anything to have that. You know what I mean? Script is cheap. So to me, that was the real strong point of this movie. That's what stood out to me. There's some great actors in it. I think you should check it out. I'm curious to see what you think of it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to, I'll go ahead and share that with you once I've seen it. Yeah. And now we come to a debate. I think we're going to have a debate on this because we're gonna talk about the Naked Gun remake with Liam Neeson and Happy Gilmore 2. And I forget, was it who was it that posed this question? Is comedy back?
Oh,
I think that was you, Sean. You know, he was saying, well, I went and, you know, I enjoyed these. I laughed. And I'm just wondering if this is a trend that with these two movies, is comedy coming back to theaters. Now I'm going to just be a moderator here because I haven't seen either one of them. I'm not a big Happy Gilmore fan, except for, you know, the Price is Wrong bitch. You know, that scene was pretty hilarious. That was a great cinematic landmark. But I tell you, I love The Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen, but the trailer did not even make me smile. It did not have any comedic timing. I think Liam Neeson is a stiff, you know, in terms of comedy timing. You know, the thing about Leslie Nielsen, just observing from the trailer, you know, the thing about Leslie Nielsen is he presented himself as someone who took himself so seriously he was grave, you know, like in Airplane, you know, I just want you to know we're all counting on you. And it's that smug sense of you know, I'm so fucking serious, I'm so important, that made it funny. Liam Neeson, I don't know what his deal is, but he just seems like he's just kind of reading some cue cards or some shit, and funny things happen around him. And to me, I'm not interested in the slightest. But let's go ahead and start with Sean, because, you know, he's
Okay.
the one that prompted this. You thought it was a lot of fun, The Naked Gun.
I did. I laughed out loud a number of times. And the theater wasn't that crowded because it was a matinee on a Sunday, but the other people in the theater laughed a few times. And I had the same trepidations about Leslie Nielsen going into it, but it worked. I mean, it really worked. He plays it so straight, and it made it funny. Pamela Anderson was adorable, and really has the chops for comedy. I think it really worked. It's a 90-minute movie. It doesn't stay longer than it should, doesn't outstay its welcome. And there's gags through the entire movie. There's a funny thing in every scene. There's a couple of running gags. I don't want to spoil them for anyone who hasn't seen it, but you'll catch on to it really quick. The villain is good. Very, very much like Ricardo Montalban was in The Naked Gun. He's good. I had a lot of fun, and it wasn't a remake because he's Frank Drebin's son, so he's Frank Jr. It was good. I laughed. It was refreshing to go in there and laugh, and there were some jokes that really like, whoa, they did that joke. That was great. So that's kind of what made me pose a question. I won't spoil that joke, but it's trying to come back. I think we need it. I think we should support these movies and encourage them to make more of them. And Happy Gilmore 2, the same. It was very entertaining. I laughed quite a bit. It's really good. So I recommend everyone go see it. I'm interested to know what the panel thinks.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Since you got us kicked off here, let's go up to Gary Ambrosian. We'll just go around, and everybody who's seen either of these movies or has an opinion can weigh in. Gary, what did you think of The Naked Gun, and is comedy back?
So The Naked Gun was massively disappointing to me. I really I couldn't stand it. It lacked all of the charm that the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrahams gave to it. It lacked that airplane, you know, sort of, you know, charm. It wasn't anything like the Police Squad. The jokes seemed to me like they were writing them so that they didn't offend anyone at all. And it's like doing jokes by math, you know. I mean, it just doesn't add up.
Yeah, well, I just didn't want to.
No, come on.
Yeah,
that was good. See, it was about as funny as that fucking joke. No, the movie
it just didn't add up.
Thank you, Andy. Punchline. But everything fell flat. It wanted to be funny. You know, there's a scene where Pamela Anderson, God bless her, she imitates like a jazz song without lyrics, and she's like imitating the instruments, what they sound like, and it's like it can't end quick enough. It's just cringe. It's not funny. It really. I mean, there was a couple of jokes that I laughed at. Like I don't know. I won't give it away, but I mean, it was so it was so off tone and such a letdown. Liam Neeson is not Leslie Nielsen. He's not anywhere near Leslie Nielsen. It got ridiculous, really ridiculous in the end. I mean, to the point where it's not even funny. You know, The Naked Gun was a satire of 1950s cop shows that was made in the late 80s, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And, you know, if you're gonna, God forbid, update a franchise, you know, we have all these cop shows of the, you know, 1990s and 2000s, which would be about, you know, close 20, 30 years before now, that we could be parodying, you know, like, you know, CSI, Delaware, all these bullshit incarnations of like these cop shows where, you know, David Caruso takes his fucking sunglasses out. Why not parody that stuff? You know, if you're gonna update it, well, that seems to be the formula. I don't even know if that would work. It probably wouldn't. But you know, there was a flavor to The Naked Gun, and it was like a cop show, like a serious cop show. Like, all right, listen, you talk. You know, the way people, you know, talk to each other. You know, like, I'm not gonna talk, copper. Who's gonna make me? You know, that kind of shit. And they made fun of that. Well, that was gone here. You know, like he's disguised as a little girl with the lollipop thing. That's not funny. It's not funny at all. There's nothing funny about it. Like I said, there was a couple of funny moments, but I don't know, man. The comedy's gone, and I think it was David Zucker or Jerry Zucker said in the interview, "Buyer beware," because we are not connected to this movie. So that was disappointing. Happy Gilmore. I loved the original Happy Gilmore because I was a total immature teen when I saw it in 1996, and I'm a total immature old man now. So I loved Happy Gilmore. I thought it was funny. It's stupid. It's dick and fart jokes from Adam Sandler. You know, what do you want? That's what it is. Anybody who bitches or gripes about it, I don't know what to tell you. What the fuck do you want? You know, I mean, really, you know, and there was some funny, there's really funny moments where I laughed my ass off and Happy Gilmore. So I'm fine with Happy Gilmore. It's not anything, it doesn't try to be anything more grandiose than it was. Again, it's a Saturday Night Live skit, cheapo movie, but this was done in the way that they made them back in the 90s. So it worked. It worked for me. So there you go.
All right. So is comedy back or not quite?
Not with The Naked Gun, it certainly isn't. I don't think so. I think we gotta let it cook for a little bit longer for it to be funny, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All
They
right.
have to get back to being irreverent. They're not worried about offending anybody. That's
oh
the
man,
main thing
that's what The Naked Gun felt like. I mean, The Naked Gun, the original Naked Gun, it insulted everybody. Everybody. Like, I mean, there isn't anybody that movie didn't insult. But this one was just, it was plastic and non-offensive, and none of the jokes landed for me. Very few of them.
Yeah,
right,
I agree,
fair.
Gary. I liked Happy Gilmore better than I did
Yeah.
Naked Gun, but I felt Naked Gun tried. I mean, it wasn't as good.
Yeah, it tried and died, to quote Dune. You know?
Well, I found Happy Gilmore very inspiring. It's a little bit tragic, like they go through the flashbacks where he accidentally kills his wife with his golf swing.
Which was ridiculous.
So today I took my wife golfing. Did not end up the same. So
keep trying, buddy.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see Adam Sandler. I can take in limited doses, and I found with this, he did a really good job because he was almost parodying himself a little bit, and I found that to be a lot of fun. And it was a little unexpected. I really appreciated the way they did some of the things, and the addition of his kids in there were really funny. It's one of those things, if you don't take it too seriously, and I don't know have anyone can take an Adam Sandler film too seriously because it's Adam Sandler. You know what you're going to get, and it doesn't take itself. It doesn't try to be more than it is. It's just here it is. It's right out in the open. It's stupid juvenile humor, which of course I myself am also 12 years old in my mind. And I will still laugh at fart jokes and the dick jokes and running around with like, oh, look, I'm putting the crutches through my legs and stuff like that. It's so stupid. It's funny with that because it's just childish, immature humor. And usually, if your wife doesn't roll her eyes at you when you laugh at that, you're not getting the joke. So, yeah, I really did enjoy Happy Gilmore. I haven't seen Naked Gun. I had planned on it, but after seeing the reviews, now I'm kind of like, I don't know. It might be there with, at least you can say Pedro Pascal's not in it.
Well, that's true. But I mean, when I was looking at the trailer, I was thinking of Steve Martin in, Inspector Clouseau movies. And it's like, nah, I'm not that desperate for entertainment. Did anyone else see the Naked Gun or go ahead, Rob?
Yeah, I saw them both. All right, so the Naked Gun. I agree with Sean. I thought it was funny. I laughed out loud at a bunch of stuff. And actually, they kind of went for film noir kind of gag gift through a lot of it. There's some subtle references to different film noir movies, and the villain has an accent that's similar to a villain in one of the film noir movies. So I thought that was funny. The snowman scene was creepy. That was weird. Funny, but weird. Bizarre. I thought Pamela Anderson was great. And I thought Leslie Nielsen was awesome back in the day. I don't think it's as good as the first two original Naked Gun movies. I thought it was stupid funny, and it was about what I expected it to be. But, it's not the greatest thing. It's not as great as some of these great comedies that we had, but it's a step in the right direction. Happy Gilmore, I agree with you guys. It's Adam Sandler at his finest doing what he did back in the 90s. And if you like Happy Gilmore 1, you'll like Happy Gilmore 2. I think it's some of the same stuff. It's got a little bit more heart to it because there's a little bit more story involved in it. And it was funny. I thought Happy Gilmore was funnier than Naked Gun. I agree with the guys there. But as far as comedy coming back, I think these are baby steps in the right direction. But you got to get to where you're insulting people and having a little bit more fun with it. I think there is a little bit of caution in there, and I get it, but we've got to take steps to get to the right direction and get back to where comedy and films should be, non-woke, being able to make fun of everybody. Because you remember the first Naked Gun movie, that first scene where he's overseas, he's making fun of everybody. And this Naked Gun doesn't do that. Now, it has a lot of good gags that I thought worked for me and were funny and was a similar style, but it's not on par with the first two Naked Gun movies. The third Naked Gun movie, I don't think was as good, and I thought this one was on par, if not better than that one, but still, we got a little bit of ways to go.
All right, fair enough.
There's one thing I want to add, Doom. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Happy Gilmore opened its Netflix biggest opening with 46.7 million views in its first 3 days.
Wow.
Which, if you were to multiply that by the price of a movie ticket, roughly, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that movie would have, if they would have released it theatrically, it might not have done that well, but it probably would have done pretty good. But that's a lot of views. That's Netflix's biggest opening so far in its history.
Yeah, no shit. Good Lord. That's a big hit. Well, that's great to know. What, Jill?
Oh, yes, I did go to the theaters to watch this with my family. I even took my 12-year-old son with me, and so I'm a tough customer when it comes to comedy, so so it didn't make me laugh a whole lot, but there was enough in there to get a few laughs, and I had fun. I think it was a step in the right direction. I think you guys were saying that in terms of getting back to classic storytelling, allowing allowing men and women to actually work together and not really dig at each other. And, there's nothing woke in it. But I know that's not a barometer for success, but it's something good. And it's maybe not the funniest movie ever, but it was enjoyable. It was kind of like a 90s movie with modern technology in it. And my son enjoyed it more than I did. He laughed a lot more than I did. So it was a really entertaining for me to see him entertained.
Well, that's good. At least, So bring a young one along. You'll probably enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I think the first.
And it's weird for that snowman scene to be a kid's first intimate scene in a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that. So I think we should move on now to Alien Earth because that apparently premiered late last night or something. I was caught totally by surprise by it, so I haven't seen it. But we have a number of folks on here who have seen Alien Earth. So let's go around. And Gary, did you say you've seen it?
Yes, I did. I saw the first episode.
Okay. What did you think of it?
Spoiler free. We're not going to do any
spoiler
spoilers.
free.
Yeah. There's some things that are really, really impressive about it.
Really?
The look. They to me, I'm really watching this stuff. I'm a stickler for production design and stuff.
Sure.
The look to me is nailed for the world, the alien world. There's some things that they're repeating, I guess, but I guess in that world you would do that. I don't know. Some of the things I felt like at first they were a little bit member berries, but they're not actually. It worked out. There's some shit in the story that I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like that's stupid. Like come on. That's bullshit. But there are also some things that are very disturbing in the story.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm watching this and I'm like, shit, this is like getting there's some things they're asking questions and they're proposing things in this first episode, kind of like Philip K. Dick would do in Blade Runner. Now they're not executing it like Blade Runner. Again, there's things that I really like about this show, and there's things that I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. But so far, I've only seen one episode. I'm gonna give it another shot. To quote Doug, it's all right.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna give it a chance. So far, I'm like, it's average. This first episode to me, but I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to watch another one and we'll see where it goes. But I got to tell you, the positive side is it looks really good. It looks really, really good. And I'm telling you, DC, if you watch it, tell me if I'm wrong, but there's some Blade Runner in this. I mean, really the world of Blade Runner in this show.
Holy shit.
So I'm hoping that not
Sure.
like Blade Runner 2049. I'm talking legitimately. I'm looking at this. I'm like, that's fucking Blade Runner right there. That's Los Angeles 2019. That's what it's like. You can tell they're really, in my opinion, so far, I've only seen the first episode, but there's some really cool looking stuff in it. Like I said, I'm not real happy with the story. Not yet. There's some good things and there's some things I'm like, but so far, I really like the way it looks, and I'm very disturbed by some of the things that are being done in this show.
Well, maybe next week we can talk about any of the really stupid shit, because I guess that would be a spoiler.
Well, we could talk about all of it next week if you want to do the first episode.
You could go ahead and single it out
if you want to continue down this path, but you should watch it and let us know what you think if you want to continue watching it. Because if you don't want to continue watching it, we won't review it.
All right. No, sounds interesting. Interesting. Rob, what do you think?
So what I like is they set up the world right up front. The first part of the show tells you exactly kind of what this show is about, which is really good, which gets you right into it and helps you understand, okay, here's where we are, here's what we're doing. great. Thank you. The first set of scenes really take you back to Alien, and some of the effects, some of the stuff they have set up mirror that perfectly, and do a great job with it. I love some of the backgrounds and some of the other stuff. I agree with Gary on some of the looks of the show. So it looks good. It has elements of the first two Alien movies, which I love and are the best two movies. However, Doomcock, there is some weird, creepy agenda stuff in there that kind of bothers me a little bit. I understand some of it in a way, and some of it's interesting, but the words they use kind of make me think that there's another hidden agenda to it, and that's what bothers me about it. So there are some slight woke elements to it with the words they're using to potentially be something much worse. I'm going to give it another shot with a couple more episodes, but I'm intrigued but slightly concerned.
So you're saying that the alien queen was originally just a purple hair that somebody used the wrong pronouns with, and they went apeshit. Is that?
Well, yeah, it used to be an alien Kang. So now, Wayland Yutani proposed the change.
Sex change for xenomorphs, bad idea. So Sean, you said you've seen most of the first episode. Anything to add to what's been said?
No, I will just really echo what Gary was saying. The world look is spot on. One of the things I really like is you can't, the people don't look like they're from today. There's no half shaved heads, there's no nose or anything. They look like they did back in the 70s. First movie. And it's gritty, it's good set design. Rob's right. There's a little iffy stuff, but you know what, to me that could be the mark of an incredible show. If a show is supposed to disturb you a little bit and get you thinking, which is good, because every alien product we've had up until now in the movies is just rehashing that story over and over and over again. This is extending the world, expanding everything. You get to see what people are like on Earth, which we never really saw, and I'm in for it so far.
All right,
ironic.
I'm excited about it. Doug, what did you think, man? You'd already done a review on it.
Yes, I've seen both of the first two episodes. So right off the bat, yes, the aesthetics are very good. They did a good job on that, even better than, because some of the elements of Alien Romulus had some of the aesthetics of the classic Alien films in it and all that stuff. But this one does it even better. And so there's a lot of that set down in there, and that was pretty good. The performances are good, all of this sort of thing. I understand the disturbing elements to it. Now, as this unfolds, that can go way south into areas it shouldn't. But overall, this is it's science fiction, but it's science fiction horror in it, and there's a lot of evil to be had in this, and so there's a couple of characters who are probably going to be the heroes of this. Everybody else is extremely villainous, and I think you'll see that as it unfolds. But it's a credible narrative in its own world to some points. There's some stumbles here that it's just unforced errors. They could have fixed this very simply and didn't. And there's some of us like it can be forgivable overall if the overall show is solid. Then I was like, yeah, well, okay, they messed up here and there, but doesn't derail the whole thing. It would involve me spoiling things if I said what it was. One thing that really rubs me the wrong way is music. When you put the wrong thing in something, there's rock songs that don't belong here.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting close to Willow territory. Not that bad, no. But and I'm just like, don't. It's okay if it's a character listening to music they like on a radio or what have you, and that sort of thing. But to suddenly, I'm like,
it was just at the end of the show, the first show, though, right, Doug?
They do it in both episodes. So I guess that's going to be a thing where it ends that way. and it
Well,
really kind of,
I'm-
and especially
yeah.
the second one at the end there, I'm like, oh man, don't.
I
And
see.
so I didn't like that. There's also I think it was, the first episode, there's a middle scene where they play a little sweet song, and I'm like,
Oh,
look, that's
okay.
not Alien. All right. You've got
Right.
everything else there to make this fit in with what the Alien films established. Don't put that in there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, give
so
it a score
that's a mistake. You should not have done that. The rest of it, well, it's a monster movie. It's nasty, and there's interesting elements. They expand the world that was always hinted at about Alien, and also there was always this thing about, hey, you could cross over Alien with Blade Runner very easily, and it kind of seems like that's pretty much what they're doing, not openly. I imagine rights and stuff you wouldn't be able to, but certain themes are very much placed there. So yeah, I understand what Gary's talking about there. I still have problems with some of that, and that's all sci-fi overall about the nature of it. I'm like, that's not really possible, not like that. But we'll have to just save that for the spoiler section next week. But anyway, it's an okay. It's promising. It has a lot of potential. The problems I had with it is not enough to derail it for me. Where screw this, no. I'll still give it a shot. I did like it better than Alien Romulus, which the only good thing I could say about that was Alien Romulus is the only. It's not as bad as the other failed Alien sequels. There's only two good Alien movies, the first and the second.
Right.
Yeah.
The rest, oh boy,
Right.
and Romulus was just, it had some bad stuff in it, but
Yeah.
this is better than that so far. It can derail it next week. I don't know, but,
Right. Yeah.
but so far, so good.
Well, since they, raised this point, it's like a prequel to Alien.
Yeah.
And I mean, the
kinda
problem
don't
that
like
I
that
have
either.
is, well, if you're going to have aliens running around Earth, then where's the big fucking surprise?
Right.
So
That's the big
kinda-
thing. Yeah.
Obviously is like, will it escape and take over the Earth? Obviously not. It can't.
right.
Because what about the other movies? They take place later, so obviously it's not going to do that.
Right. We don't know.
But it
yet
just
where
says that
that's
Wayland
going.
Yutani's been looking for this thing. They want it. And, so there you go.
Right.
Well, maybe, like the alien does escape, but they're able to hush it up thanks to the crack detective work of Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Maybe that's a tie-in to Blade Runner and Naked Gun. Andy, you saw the first 10 minutes, and you also saw some of Wednesday, which I just don't care about Wednesday.
I'm up to episode 4 of Wednesday, and it's mildly entertaining. It's cute. It's something that, like, it's not. You would normally think about these things and be like suffocated with all of the. Oddly enough, the aliens that Sean was talking about that aren't present in the Alien show, with the nose rings and the pink hair, like you would think it's going to be inundated with that, and it's really not. But the Alien movie, I was happy to see that they all do still wear the same underwear when they're coming out of their cryo tanks.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
good.
They were a little less political than I expected them to be, but the aesthetics are, from what I've seen so far, were very, very good, and that goes to some level with me because it shows, because we see it with Rings of Power. They don't even try to match what's been done before. They don't even try to capture the same feeling. Same thing with like Star Trek, like let's put fire on the Klingon ship and stuff like that. Like they don't even try to make it match what's come before. So there's no respect for it. This, at least, you can see there's some care been taken to try and match up some of that stuff. And so I'm hoping that it's sad. Like here we are hoping it's just not terribly offensive, and that would be good enough for to get me through. Here's hoping that it's that it holds on to the mark and doesn't turn into something it shouldn't be.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, Andy. So I guess that's it of everybody that's seen Alien Earth thus far. So it sounds promising. Not perfect, but
Not a bad start.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. All right. Anything else before we get to some more super chats and Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home? No? All
Let's
right.
do it.
Let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and do some super chats, ladies and gentlemen. All right, folks, here we go with some more super chats. Thank you all for your patience. It's very, very much appreciated. Trevin Lane with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Trevin. He says, regarding Gina Carano, Disney could not afford the Carano case going to Discovery. Far too damaging. They paid through the nose and cleared Carano of her Hollywood black mark because that was the least bad option they had. Exactly. And my point was that I think they must have paid through the nose for it and made it worth her while. And at least I'm glad that she has had a modicum of justice, a quantum of justice here. Even though we didn't get what we wanted, she got what she wanted, and since she was the most aggrieved one here, certainly she deserves it, and I don't begrudge it to her. That's just my personal opinion. And Jack White, who is clearly an executive producer on Pop Culture Breakdown tonight, including being a manga and anime expert here. He's got some more suggestions for some anime here. He says Rascal Does Not Dream series, Bungao Stray Dogs, Black Clover, Berserk of Gluttony, Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter, Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian, The Devil is a Part-Timer. Thank you for that $10 super chat, Jack. And with two $5 super chats, Jack White weighs in on the Gina Carano settlement. He says, for those disappointed with the settlement, just keep this quote in the back of your minds. He says, the truth, when buried, it grows. It chokes, it gains such an overwhelming amount of force that when it finally blows up, it blows everything with it. So if it's buried, it grows. If it's choked, it rears up. So yeah, I agree with that assessment, Jack. And we may yet find out. We may yet find out what we wanted to know. Kurt James with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Kurt says, curious if Gina Carano will face backlash for being involved in a suit at all. Even if she received a boatload of wampum, will she work again? And he's got a fingers crossed emoji there. Well, this must have occurred to her, my friend. I think that this occurred to her. And so she must have taken that into account with whatever settlement she got. And that's why, look, I am kind of neutral on this rumor. A lot of people, a lot of sources are saying she's coming back to Star Wars. She's going to work with Jon Favreau. They're going to make her, whole and healthy again with this Rangers of the New Republic show. And it might just be the boost in the arm that Disney Star Wars so desperately needs. Certainly, it would get her back on the radar, get her working again, get her the chance to show off her acting chops and maybe appear, auditioning for the rest of Hollywood. Without that, well, I would think that the money that she got would have gone up exponentially without that. So we'll see. I don't know, Kurt James, but yeah, I hope that she factored all that into whatever settlement she got. SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor has been a Dumentide of mine, a channel member for a year now. Hail to you, SFX F314. He says, when I had to go to the theater, been going with mom at military theaters since dad was in the military. Ads are military related stuff to help or fun. Well, that's a different situation than the bullshit that we're getting saber-tooth raptor. It's just an endless stream of bullshit, trivia, commercial cheese whiz product. It's just fucking horrible, and the time just crawls by so fucking slowly. Wayu Hatan with a $2 super chat hailed my friend. He says, I doubt Gina is coming back to Star Wars under KK. Well, I don't think KK would have had fuck all to say about it if it's part of a settlement that's going to keep Discovery from uncovering things that KK did not want uncovered herself. That would be an impetus to let Gina come back. I mean, everybody's ass was on the line here, Wayu Hatan. I don't think the old rules apply. This was a unique situation, and I don't think you can say that with any definitive authority here. Trevin Lane with a $10 super chat. Hail again, Trevin. He says, something to keep in mind. Gina, like all actresses, has a limited shelf life. She needed the backlist off her back ASAP so she could get serious jobs again and enough money to make up for the 4 years. Exactly, Trevin. Exactly that. And there had to be some repair to not only her reputation and good name, but also to her career, and at least giving her some prospects moving forward. So there you go. Darksaber Force with a $5 super chat. Hail, Darksaber Force says celebrity guests to invite to the show: Gina Carano, Vic Mignogna, Andrea De Matteo, Adriana from The Sopranos, about how broken the industry is. All of them are, or any of them are welcome at any time on Pop Culture Breakdown. They just have to contact me or anybody who knows me. I would love to have Adriana from The Sopranos, Vic Mignogna, the other Captain Kirk, or, of course, the lovely and talented Gina Carano. She would be most welcome on Pop Culture Breakdown at any time. Saul Shymek with a $5 super chat. Hail, Saul says, so Ice Cube's War of the Worlds, worse than Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2? Yes. Yes. Vastly worse. It's not even close, Saul. I don't think anybody on the panel would disagree. Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2, infinitely superior to Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. But then again, so is a fucking, ad for Progressive. And you know how much I hate those. The Geico fucking gecko is like Shakespeare compared to Ice Cube. Swift -1 with a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Swift -1 says, is War of the Worlds 25 worse than Into Darkness? No. So you got me there, Swift -1. Star Trek Into Darkness is one of the absolute positive worst fucking things I've ever seen in my life, because it just, the more you think about it, the dumber and dumber and dumber it fucking gets. At least this shit's badness is on the surface. Where's the shit on its sleeve? You know what I mean? But Star Trek Into Darkness is a fractal of fucked.
I just wish we had Benedict Cumberbatch trying to do a Ricardo Montalban impression. That would have been funny.
That would have been great. That might have made it. Andy. You're right, dude. That could have been. That would have been pretty.
Rich Corinthian leather.
In his little English accent, trying hard. Bless his heart. Echoes of the ancients with a $10 super chat. Hail, oh echoey one, says, the destroyers came to make us forget our own way. Ai Kwai Arma. It's a quote from Ai Kwai Arma. Hail to you, echoes of the ancients, and thank you very, very much for that. And Angry Yeti TV says, OMG, I absolutely despise that dem gecko. So do I. I despise the Geico gecko, but it's still a better actor than Ice Cube. Jack White with a $5 super chat. Hail, Jack White. He's got a question about War of the Worlds, folks, and I think it's an important one that we should all answer. Jack White says, so did anyone see Mike in the movie? Because when I last checked, jumping out of windows is one of his favorite pastimes. I don't know. Was Mike in War of the Worlds? Did he jump out of windows metaphorically or literally? It's an interesting question. I can't answer it. Maybe someone who has seen the movie could. Maybe Gary Ambrosia might be able to, or Jill.
Oh yeah, Mexican Iron Man's all over that movie.
Was he really? Yeah, just windows jumping in, jumping out. Maybe does he have the magical ability to actually jump into windows, like, you know, the operating system, and travel the interwebs, the pipes of the interwebs, like John McClane crawling through vents? Maybe so. Maybe so. Whenever we see him again, we can ask him that in person. Michael Beacom with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Michael Beacom. He says, why I cannot be a studio head. Ice Cube would be there pitching a remake of War of the Worlds. I would ask him if it'd be better than George Pal. When he says yes, the guys from Arkham drag him away. Well, you're sane, Michael. That's the only sane approach, you know, to ask him that question. Holy shit, dude. Seriously. That's really, that is the question. The Guardian of Azarath with a £5 super chat. Hail to you, the Guardian of Azarath. He says the best versions of TWO, the War of the Worlds, are the 53 movie with the George Pal movie. Jeff, what's his name? You know, the yellow guy, the 1978 album War of the Worlds with Richard Burton narrating. The 1998 PC real-time strategy game based on that, and the War of the Worlds Goliath, an animated sequel to the book. I've not played the game, nor have I seen Goliath, so I can't weigh in on that. But I do love, you know, the album, you know, War of the Worlds. Jeff Lynne, right? I don't think it's JW. Yep. It's Jeff Lynne. Hail to you, Guardian of Azarath. Yeah, I really like that. You know, you had you know, Forever Autumn on that, and Richard Burton, you know, narrating is just, you can't beat that with a stick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's I listen to that guy all day long. And my favorite, the favorite voice of any actor in history, in my opinion. Michael K19th C fan with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Michael K19th C fan. Says there was a direct-to-DVD release of War of the Worlds set in Edwardian England, coinciding with the Spielberg version. This version would give the Ice Cube version competition for worst adaptation. Wow. So a direct-to-DVD War of the Worlds. Interesting. I've not heard of that. We should have talked a little bit about the Spielberg version. I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty horrific in a lot of ways. I thought Spielberg actually did a pretty decent job on that, surprisingly. Because these days he's kind of lost his mojo. Jack White, executive producer Jack White with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Jack. Says, and were the monsters in the movie in reality Harvey's kids? Shut up! Trying to deprive him of his fun and then get him to commit suicide, pure depression. Shut up, man. Asshole, man. Fuck you. And nothing's been proven in court. So there. Yeah, see, he relies on that. He always loves that. And Jack White also adds with a $5 super chat. Hail, Jack. He says, the only things on Prime Video worth watching are Bosch, which I've seen. I love it. Bosch Legacy, outstanding. Reacher, yes, excellent. The Terminal List, yep. And Invincible. Invincible is good. All those things I ratify as excellent on Prime Video. Hail to you, Jack White. Swift -1 with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Swift -1. Says Gina was going to put Disney through Star Trek Discovery. I like that. Star Trek Discovery is a synonym for hell. No wonder they settled. Even Disney knows Discovery sucks. Amen, Swift -1. You are spot fucking on that, brother. Thank you for that. London 19657 gifted a channel membership to this channel. We really appreciate you, London, doing that. God bless you for that membership. We got 2 tonight. And like I said, I got a new channel member video coming out tomorrow, and an Archvillain exclusive live stream as well in the afternoon. Royston S. Bailey with two $5 super chats in a row, and then a $2 super chat. Hail to you, Royston S. Bailey. I really appreciate all of those, my friend. And he says, Hollywood needs to make more films for $30 million and fewer for $200 million and take artistic risks. Abso-fucking-lutely. Also, just exorcising the woke won't make films great again. 110%. Royston, dude, you're speaking my language. More movies like The Joker, 50 million, grossed $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely right. And that can also be a kind of a springboard for another generation of writers and directors, kind of like the 70s, where guys like Scorsese and, guys like Coppola, came up making movies, taking some risks, and they became superstars. But you've got to take some gambles, Hollywood. You got to take some gambles.
Weapons has done that. Weapons has they've already hit profit. They a $38 million budget, and they're already at $91 million in 5 days.
And the thing about that, Andy, that's so great is because they have an idea. They have an actual idea, and they have the talent to execute a script. They have a vision. They're not, blowing money on scrapbooking and shooting, 5 different versions of it and assembling it into editing. Their lack of money made them commit to this. And that is why they're succeeding. And we need a lot more movies like that. Royston S. Bailey says, if you enjoy absurdist, satirical, and British humor, read or download my novella, Adventure on Komodo Island. Folks, just Google Royston, Roystons Bailey, and novella. Shoot. Well, Royston, we got to help out indie creators here. So I'm gonna actually copy this and pop it in the chat. Google that, folks. And check out Adventure on Komodo Island. Royston S. Bailey also adds with a $2 super chat, F. Kurtzman. See, man after my own heart. Hail to you, Royston S. Bailey, and thank you for that, F. Kurtzman. Don Lewis with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Don says, there is no curse in Klingon, Romulan, Vulcan, Andorian, or the tongues of Earth for the vile things Kurtzman has done to Star Trek. Amen, dude. A fucking man. Thank you, Don Lewis. Jack White, executive producer, with a $2 super chat and a $5 super chat, adds here. We need a more decentralized power grid. Yeah, man, we gotta harden the power grid. We gotta really take a hard look at that and really shore it up, because God knows it's so important. And Jack White also says we also need more freedom from the central planners like George Soros and Bill Gates. Well, I think that statement stands on its own, Jack. Hail to you, Jack White. Sigvaldason, the high priest of the cult of Harvey. I know he's not going to want to read this. With a $10 super chat, says Harvey Cthulhu Productions invites the audience to come enjoy the Harvey Cthulhu variety show on Friday night. Our host, Harvey Cthulhu, has jokes and songs aplenty, plus his sidekick, Doomcock. All lies, all bullshit. This is, of course, Friday Night Frolics they're talking about, but what are you going to do? Cultists and maniacs, etc., and so on. You know the drill. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get to this week's movie that we love. And boy, I tell you what, we really, really love this one. All right, folks, there's no mystery as to what this movie is. This is Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. It is essentially part of a trilogy with Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, and Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. There's a lot of laughs in it, a lot of tears in the eyes at the end. It's kind of a perfect trilogy. I really, really love Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. I love all of those movies. I think the best one is Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. But then I think this Star Trek IV is really a special, heartwarming, loving tribute to Star Trek. And it wraps up the storyline brilliantly. And we're going to go ahead and talk about this movie that I love Geez, I just love the hell out of this one. Go ahead, Gary. What have you heard about this? What did you find out about this one?
Well, the first thing I have to say about this movie is, well, double dumbass on you. Here we go, guys. Star Trek 4, the one with the whales. Starring the usual suspects, produced on a $21 million budget and bringing in $133 million during its worldwide theatrical release. Before The Search for Spock was even released, Leonard Nimoy had already been given the green light by Paramount executives to direct the fourth film. He was granted full control over the franchise when they told him, "Show us your vision of Star Trek." The original concept by returning writer and producer Harve Bennett was that the Enterprise crew would be prosecuted for the murder of Commander Krug and his pirates, as well as the destruction of the Enterprise. This script, tentatively titled Star Trek IV: The Trial of Kirk, was eventually scrapped. However, several scenes were later recycled for Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. After reading a book called Biophilia, written by Harvard biologist E.O. Howard, Nimoy suddenly had a greater connection with the creation of life on Earth. He felt, as a conservationist, that he should make a statement on the results of negative human impact of our planet. Bennett and Nimoy came up with a story which saw the 23rd century Earth being wiped out by a plague, which could only be saved by the Enterprise crew traveling back in time and locating a rare fish that was found in the extinct rainforests of the Amazon. This treatment posed several problems. First, the thought of hundreds of millions of people dying would be too depressing for the film, which Nimoy wanted to be upbeat and fun. And secondly, humanity being saved by a guppy would just be flat out silly.
It's a trap.
After diving into the intriguing world of whales and the interesting concept of whale song, he decided that the humpback whale would be a much more interesting choice as the savior of mankind. Bennett and Nimoy called on their old friend and director of The Wrath of Khan, Nicholas Meyer, for some help with the elements of time travel, Meyer having some experience on his own time travel film, Time After Time. Meyer wrote the 20th century scenes in San Francisco, and Bennett handled the 23rd century scenes. Now that a solid story had been established, another issue arose. William Shatner, armed with a Colt Trooper Mark III and a brand new hairpiece, saw his successful return to the television with T.J. Hooker.
It looks good when he's swimming later in the movie.
It does look good when he's swimming. That's
it
true.
looks good enough to scrub any of your dish plates.
The trouble with tribbles.
Yeah, the trouble with tribbles is they're stuck on his head. This beefed up an already massively inflated ego, and the Shat agreed to don the mean maroon one more time, albeit at a hefty price. Paramount declined his escalated salary demand, which pretty much sent the fourth installment into a complete shutdown. Harve Bennett offered a solution to make a prequel to the TV series, which would see the entire cast being replaced by younger versions of themselves, playing their respective characters at the beginning of their Starfleet careers. Yeah, just when you thought J.J. Abrams was unoriginal, he completely ripped off an earlier script of the rejected Star Trek 4. How about that?
Of course.
Yeah, Nimoy hated this idea, which caused some friction between Bennett and himself. Thankfully, Paramount was able to work out a deal for both Nimoy and Shatner, which included a hefty paycheck, $2.5 million each, and a favored nations clause, which stated that not only would both the actors receive equal pay from then on, but Shatner would be given the director's chair for Star Trek V: The Death of a Franchise. I say death of a franchise, I meant the fever dream of an aging admiral after facing a near-death experience is depicted by cheap, shitty special effects.
But I love it. Star Trek 5 is fun.
I want to love it, but your theory just destroys that for me. So we'll just leave it at that.
Dude.
I know. We'll talk about it later. Here we go. 1 million gallons of water were used. 1 million gallons of water were used to fill the parking lot sized tank, which housed a section of the shipwrecked bird of prey set and the animatronic humpback whale tail. The tank, which was being used as a parking lot at the time, had been used previously for the scene in which Charlton Heston parts the Red Sea in the Ten Commandments.
That was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, those a lot of the whale that we see, those are animatronics, and it got so bad
he was
that
talking
people
about
were
the Ten
upset.
Commandments, Jill.
Oh, okay.
On
No, but there was
January,
some controversy that they were close
right,
to
we're going to
the
get to
real
that.
ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. On January 28, 1986, 1 month before shooting began, the Space Shuttle Challenger was destroyed live on television shortly after takeoff, killing her entire crew. The Voyage Home was dedicated to the memory of the fallen astronauts in a preface at the beginning of the movie. During the making of Star Trek IV, which was featured on a Laserdisc copy of the film released in 1992, Robin Curtis mentions in an interview that something, quote, special was supposed to be happening to Saavik in the film. It was later revealed in the original shooting script that Kirk would approach Saavik on Vulcan and asked her, "Have you told him yet?" To which she replies, "No, but I will be taking maternity leave from Starfleet." Although Nimoy removed this plot point from the script, the final scenes in the film do suggest that this is true. What was Saavik remaining behind on Vulcan was Spock's mother. That's official. That was originally going to be in the script. I thought that was a theory, but according to the Laserdisc making of Star Trek IV, you can see Robin Curtis. She's like, I don't want to, spoil it, but something special does happen with my character. There you go, guys. Yeah, son of Spock, right there.
Yeah, confirming what happened in Star Trek 3.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Confirming the
modern producers would have jumped on that, making Spock a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, right. Apparently, Paramount executives wanted English subtitles to translate what the alien probe was saying.
Oh, God.
Nimoy and Nicholas Meyer said absolutely not. Thank God.
That would have been so bad.
Oh God. Yeah, it was like, it was supposed to say like, "Where are you?"
Oh, I'm here, man. We're okay. Everything's all right. How are
It's
you?
all good. Yeah, we're all fine now down here. How are
Are
you?
there any whales down
How many friends down here?
They would have read it in whale song accent. Oh, we're good today. How are you? Hold on, guys. I got to get through this. Then we can talk.
Don't come back in 15,000 years.
ILM returns to helm the special effects demands of the Voyage Home. The space dock model was dusted off and pulled out of storage, and the USS Reliant model was repurposed as the USS Saratoga. As an introduction to CGI was pioneered in the Wrath of Khan for the Genesis device animation, the Voyage Home was to be a showcase for the next step in CGI breakthroughs, the 3D scanning process and morphing technology. Star Wars designer Ralph McQuarrie designed and storyboarded the hypnotic time travel sequence in which the crew's 3D faces morph into each other, which was achieved through a new scanning technology from the company's cyberware. The whales themselves were actually scale animatronic models, which were manufactured at the ILM Creature Shop at a whopping cost of $1 million. Hiring marine biologists to consult in the construction of the puppets, Paramount actually received hate mail and warnings from U.S. Fish and Game because they were filming too close to the whales and endangering a protected species. That's how convincing those models were. That's what Joe was talking about earlier, which I think
they really are good.
They really are cool. Apparently, those models tour the country to different aquariums and stuff like that. At least they did for a while. I don't know where they ended up now, but that's how impressive they were. During the scene where Chekhov and Uhura are asking about the nuclear vessels, a background actress who was given no lines actually improvised an unscripted response to Nichelle Nichols and Walter Koenig. Apparently, the young lady was not a hired background actress, but was present because the city of San Francisco had towed her car because she had parked where the scene was permitted to film. Leonard Nimoy saw the young lady in distress and kindly offered her a quick paying job to cover the cost of the ticket and tow. And when she actually responded in the scene, Nimoy loved her work and put it in the final film.
That's really cool.
How about that? That guy, man, he's got a heart as big as as big as a whale. In 2016, the humpback whale was removed from the official list of endangered species. Looks like the Enterprise crew actually did save the whales.
I like to think so.
Yep. Sound effects engineer Mark Mangini asked Leonard Nimoy what the alien probe sounded like. Nimoy replied, "Whoop, whoop, whoop." Mangini brought in Nimoy into the recording studio and had him lay out the sound effects of the probe, which he synthesized and heavily modified. The probe pulse is actually Leonard Nimoy's voice.
Oh, wow.
How about that? This is a good one. I like this one a lot. While visiting New York City, Leonard Nimoy once saw a street dweller blaring his music with a ghetto blaster. The noise was so loud and invasive, several other witnesses were covering their ears, walking briskly away to spare what little hearing they had left. Nimoy recalled, "Boy, if I were actually Spock, I'd Vulcan nerve pinch the hell out of that punk." Years later, he got to fulfill his curious fantasy by adding this incident directly into the Voyage Home. The punk on the bus is played by Kirk Thatcher, who was Nimoy's assistant. Thatcher not only shaved his hair into a mohawk and brought his own punk clothes, but wrote and performed the track "I Hate You," which plays on his radio as Spock subdues him. Thatcher was originally an employee at Industrial Light and Magic who assisted in the creation of Khan's SETI Alpha 5 eel creature and has branched out into writing the screenplay for Muppet Treasure Island, among others, directing several movies and TV shows, and appears as June the Monster Hunter in Marvel's Werewolf by Night.
Oh,
how about that?
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, he also brings in the nuclear power theme, ties it into the movie, so it's a funny scene, but also important.
Yeah. The success of the film not only repopulated the endangered franchise by converting normies into Trekkies, but broke down international barriers as well. The Voyage Home was the first Star Trek film to be shown in the Soviet Union, as well as being showcased by the World Wildlife Fund as a tool to bring about awareness to endangered species. The Voyage Home paved the way for the new Star Trek series, The Next Generation, which had just began shooting as The Voyage Home went into production. The film saw a massive influence in the Greenpeace movement, bringing attention to the Save the Whales mission and assisting in a massive increase in donations all over the world. Although a massive spike in granola sales was reported, there was also a huge drop in stock for deodorant and personal hygiene products. Fucking hippies. Okay, my final note. After his blockbuster success with Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy became an international superstar. Having a solid adoration for the franchise, he approached Paramount with the proposal that he star in the next Star Trek. There was an early draft of the script in which Murphy played a 20th century college professor, and he was to assist the crew in finding their humpback whales. Murphy's character was also obsessed with aliens and was aimed to provide most of the comic relief through the film. He was assisted by his friend, marine biologist Dr. Julian Taylor, and a female reporter. Murphy, after being informed about his part in the film, declined to appear in The Voyage Home, claiming that he wanted to play an officer and not some dude, quote, talking jive to Mr. Spock. Anyway, that's my final note on the movie. This was the very first Star Trek movie that I ever saw. This was shot in my hometown of Monterey at the aquarium. So I had like a personal connection to it when I was young. But this movie brought so much joy to me when I was a kid. It's so happy and upbeat. I saw it when I was young. And it made me, I was a Star Wars kid, but it made me a Trekkie. It made me appreciate Star Trek and love it. I cannot tell you how much joy I get when I hear the soundtrack from this movie and whenever I watch it. It's really, it's that good. Very rarely has a movie like brought me so much happiness and joy as this one. You know,
I love it. I love it.
It's that I that's how much I love this movie. I love, you know, Wrath of Khan. I think it's great. It's the best one. I love Search for Spock. I think Wrath of Khan is better than Search for Spock as a movie, but I will watch Star Trek 3. I could watch that every week. Star Trek 4, it's such a joyous, happy experience for me to watch this movie. And I really, truly love this movie.
I do too. I thought it was a fitting end to the, you know, arc of 2, 3, and 4 finally. You know, it really was a voyage home in so many ways. You know, the way that Sarek is reconciled with Spock, and Spock stands up for himself. You know, tell her I feel fine. You know, it's like, and Sarek's like, but he doesn't care. He's beyond that. You know, he's finally come full circle from his you know, culinar you know, aspirations to embracing the warm feelings that he has for the captain and the crew. And I just think it's a fucking masterpiece. I really love this thing. And let's go ahead and have Jill chime in here because this is one of her favorite movies, and then we'll get back in the lineup. Jill,
Oh my gosh.
what do you think of this movie?
Well, to your point, yes, Sarek says your associates are people of good character, and then of course Spock says they are my friends, which speaks to the point you just said. Is his existential crisis he had in the first movie? Do I want to purge my human side? His sacrifice in the second one, the rebirth in the third one, and here Spock is coming back, and I like that he's not fully back. He's relearning a bit, and his mom, of course, tells him your friends were they were not logical. They were human, and that comes back later in the movie when they need to save Chekhov, and Kirk says, "Is that the logical thing to do?" And he says, "No, that's the human thing to do." And so now we know for sure he's not completely rejecting it. Of course, he's going to control his emotions. I just love Spock so much. He's so incredible. And I do really love this movie so much. Let me see where. Oh, here it is. Okay, so but this movie goes back to what Gene Roddenberry would want to make. I know Gene wasn't involved as much, but I think Leonard Nimoy brought that back out in terms of everything. And I know Gary mentioned the Challenger, but there's one thing that you might not know is that there is not only a tribute to the crew of the Challenger in this movie, but also one of the shuttle pods in Enterprise D in Star Trek Next Generation was also named for one of the astronauts, Ellison Onizuka. And it's in one of the episodes. And anyway, and this movie is the reason we've got more Star Trek. So that's it. Also mentioned by Gary, which is great. And so thank you so much for letting me talk about this. I have so much to say about it. I haven't even started yet. This is my absolute favorite movie, not just Star Trek movie. And it's incredible because even though it appeals to the masses, it doesn't sacrifice what Star Trek should be. We have an antagonist rather than a villain. Nobody dies in this movie. You've got a phaser, and the only thing the phaser does is lock a bunch of doctors away so that they can save Chekhov.
That's right.
And essentially, that is one of my favorite scenes where McCoy saves the lady from dialysis. Take this pill, and I grew a new kidney. And she ad-libbed that line, and it was incredible.
Oh wow.
We're dealing with medievalism here.
Right. The doctors are talking about chemotherapy, and he is just appalled by this.
Sounds like the goddamn Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
My God, man. The artery has to be repaired.
And for my quote, it'll be, "They like you very much, but they are not the hell you're Wills."
Well, what else? What else did you want to say?
Well, of course, that's his first mind meld with a whale. So in Star Trek canon, we now know that whales have their own language, and I like to believe that's true in our reality. Also, we just can't get into it. And I love that Gary pointed out that this movie may have helped the whales not be on the extinction list anymore. And so that's incredible. Everything with Jillian is wonderful. She's adorable. She says, "Do you trust me?" And then she orders pizza. That's great. That's why I had Michelob today. It's because that's what she has with her pizza. Don't tell
Right.
me. You're from outer space. No, I'm from Iowa.
I only work in outer space.
So I mean, yeah, it's great. They use the same time travel method they use in Tomorrow's Yesterday, and yeah, you got the Eddie Murphy stuff. This is the first time we had Michael Okuda working with Star Trek, and of course, he has a storied career with Star Trek. From this point on, he does a whole lot more. And then as far as more fun stuff is Admiral Cartwright is also he comes back as Sisko's dad in Deep Space Nine, Joseph Sisko, which is fun. This is also the last time that Major Barrett comes on screen as Nurse Chapel, because the next time we see her, she's Loxana Troy.
Right.
And
Was
that's
she in this movie?
Yeah. Yeah,
Where was
she's in Starfleet Command
I missed
for like
that.
one line.
Yeah. Briefly,
Wow.
Grace Lee Whitney also appears.
Right, she's in the
And-
trial, right?
Mm.
At the end, isn't she at the trial?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, no, I could go on and on, but I think that's pretty good for today. I really love this movie.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jill. And yeah, I love this movie too. Brings tears to my eyes at the end because it's just it's been a long.
I thought I was the only person
long
who cried
haul.
at the end of this movie. I thought it wasn't. I thought I was silly. So
No,
thanks for
I
pointing that
I get choked up too. There's no doubt about it. Rob, what did you think?
I remember seeing this in the movie theater, and this movie is just fantastic. First off, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Challenger, the dedication to the Challenger. I was so glad to see that, and then every time I see that, it brings a tear to my eye because I remember watching that and hearing about it, and it just was such a tragedy when I was a child to learn about that and to see that. But this movie is just amazing. I love the score. You're caught immediately up in the score, and it sounds completely different from the last 3 Star Trek movie scores. Then you get this beautiful shot of space and a galaxy and a nebula, and then beautiful shots of Vulcan, and then the practical models that they had of the Klingon ship were just amazing, and they still stand today. I thought they were great. I loved that back then. This movie is about heart, and it really shows that the Star Trek is really at its heart is about the friendship among all these characters, and each one of them has such wonderful lines and dialogue and moments that are so great. I mean, we're quoting them in the chat, which makes it that much more fun. You think about it, this movie on the surface, you think, oh, it's about saving the whales, but it's not really political. It's practical, and it does a good job with the story. It also moves. It's got very good beats. It was cut and edited really well to preserve those beats and keep you interested and engaged throughout the whole movie. I like the use of comedy in different parts, especially when they're rescuing Chekhov. That was hilarious. But overall, this is one of the best Star Trek movies because it has all the elements there. Anybody doing Star Trek needs to watch this movie and Wrath of Khan to better understand what Star Trek is and what the heart of Star Trek really is, because those 2 movies tell you it right then and there.
Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Sean, anything to add to this?
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've seen this.
What? You fuck.
No, I think I know every line of this movie. It's so good. Anytime I need to feel good, this is one of them that I pop in there, and I can just watch it and just enjoy it. It's just so good. All the lines and the quotes and stuff are just so memorable. Although I do have a warning for everyone: not every pill will grow things as they tell you they will.
Objects in a mirror may be larger than they appear.
Yes. I mean, like Jill was saying, you can go on and on about this movie. It's just so good. Leonard Nimoy was so great, and Mark Leonard is so good as Sarek, and the chemistry between them, especially at the end, it just buttons the movie right up, and I can't say enough about it.
Yeah,
let someone else
Oh,
go.
and
It's just perfect. It's a perfect
speaking of
movie.
which, the first Black female captain is not. Don't listen to New Trek. It is the captain of the Saratoga.
The first and second were in the TOS era.
right. And you know, Mikey Spock isn't even in Star Trek. You know, it's this Christmas
Exactly.
Trek shit. So it doesn't even, it's not even in the same franchise. Doug, good to see you, man. It's been a while since we heard you comment on a movie. What do you say about Star Trek 4, dude?
It was all right.
Oh man.
Well, like you, I've always seen this. I call it the Genesis trilogy. You know, you're dealing with the consequences of Genesis. And that's Kirk's like, well, we can stay in exile on Vulcan, or we can go back. And of course, that's exactly what he would do. Is I'm just going to go face the judgment for what I've done, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of these movies has been a lot of the consequences for Kirk that he's never dealt with. You know, the Wrath of Khan is dealing with his, you know, his mortality, his own aging and whatnot, and then the consequences. Well, he lost Spock, and then he has to but the price to pay for getting Spock back was huge, and all that. So finally gets a little bit of a breather. Sure, the Earth is being destroyed, but it's all a misunderstanding. But it's also his chance for ultimate redemption in the eyes of the Federation, and so on and so forth. So finally, Kirk gets a big win at the end here. Well, you know, with saving the whales and going back in time. Of the three,
Exactly, because he didn't want to be admiral. He wants to be captain.
Well, yeah, that's all he ever wanted was to be in that captain's chair. So it works out for him. He's like, hey, we're going to take your admiral rank away. He's like, fine. Oh, gee, please don't. Idiots. But anyway, of the three, it is the closest to a Star Trek episode. This is the kind of thing that, you know, they would do. They go back in time, and the comedic elements and whatnot what did happen in the original show, and so the solution and whatnot, and say, well, they're extinct in the future, so that's going to be a problem with this thing wanting to talk to them and all that. So there's almost a Hitchhiker's Guide element to it in a lot of ways here and there, but. Just a very enjoyable film, and after the dark themes of the other two, which are excellent, of course, Wrath of Khan being the best of the batch, you get this reprieve here. It performs very well, and all that. It's all well done, and I do disagree somewhat. I would have rather James Horner score this one as well, but there is an argument for it in that the mood and themes of it is a departure from the other two. So. I guess it
came out before around Thanksgiving, and so it makes sense that the soundtrack is kind of Christmassy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
they did want James Horner to score it, but he was already booked at the time. So
right, I figured it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Leonard Rosenman was the guy who scored the movie.
Right.
And I guess he was a personal friend of Leonard Nimoy, so he brought him on board. And if you get the score to the movie, there's the alternate theme of where they actually use the television theme as the opening title, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you should check out the Star Trek 4 complete score, the expanded one. It's really good, Doom.
Right.
Oh shit. Dude,
I might send it to you. Maybe I'll ship it over to you.
But thanks, man.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it. I've always loved the music to it. You know, the Horner stuff will never be topped, in my opinion. James, I love Jerry Goldsmith. The Goldsmith theme, you know, the original motion picture theme is amazing. But Horner's music, man, is exciting. And all of his Star Trek themes, boy, if they did a new Star Trek show and they brought back all of Horner's themes in it, that might reel me back in. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it really might. You know, it's just
very exciting and incredibly beautiful. And
Yes, and
sort of the essence of how do you score outer space? And
yeah,
I think
well,
he did
and
it.
Doug, he's pulling elements from the TV show.
He is,
Yeah.
You know, sort of those loud, brassy hits when they're going into the, you know, the
right,
Mutara
the
Nebula and
Khan's
stuff. That's
attack
that.
and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
And bang, you know, yeah, that kind
It's
of thing.
very
yeah.
much
And
like, you know,
yeah,
It's
totally.
reminiscent
And,
of the show.
absolutely. And also very reminiscent of the show to me is the music underneath Khan's I've done worse than kill.
Yeah.
I've
yeah,
hurt your destroy that.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, it's like so, you know, Star Trek,
very much.
very much the TV show. But I really
Yeah.
love this score because of the very exuberant kind of
Right. It fits
frolicking
the movie. It
nautical
does.
theme at the end. You know, like
Right.
it's so full of joy,
Yeah,
and
Right.
it matches. I don't know that Horner's, you know, very
It might not
dramatic,
have worked.
exciting.
I don't know. It would have been an interesting thing to see how he would have approached this, because the mood is greatly shifted. It's dealing with the consequences of what happened, and of course Spock's journey and whatnot, and he's come full circle. But it's all very positive. It's all very happy. They finally get a happy ending. They were suffering pretty bad in the other two movies, and then you finally get this. So, and then Horner's music is fitting for that. It would have been interesting to see how he would have resolved that. But
yeah,
but you got Roseman, and it works for the film unto itself. So
especially since it's a fish out of water.
Yeah. They're thrust into an entirely different realm, you know. So
yeah, it's such a great,
colorful
great
metaphors
movie.
and all.
I really
Oh,
like
then-
the way
Go
that Nimoy handled the communication of the probe at the end, where the probe is turning and the whale is turning,
right.
and going into the, you know, glowing and glowing in on the eye. I mean, it had almost like 2001-esque,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
mystical vibe that it just packs up
Yeah.
and goes. And otherwise it could have just been stupid, but it had a sense of that something really was being communicated, and subtitles would have been really, really bad.
You know, it's interesting.
That would have ruined it.
It's interesting you mentioned 2001 Doom, because they asked Leonard Nimoy, what do you want this probe to look like? And he said, well, I want it to look like a cross between the monolith from 2001 and an actual whale.
Well, see, he
Yeah,
made
so-
it. He made it.
And that's
That's
an
on
interesting,
purpose.
because of that abstract approach to alien life. It's truly alien. You don't know what this is. It's not some guy with rubber on his face. It's
Right.
this strange, very alien thing, you know. And it that's
doesn't have
also,
wings.
you know,
It doesn't have a jet engine on it.
Right.
It doesn't have a cockpit. It's
you
just
have no
a big
idea what this is.
piece
And
of
it's
granite.
just as
Manning.
lost. It can't communicate. It has no idea. It doesn't understand that it's wiping out all these people and that sort of thing. It's a giant among ants, you know, and this type of thing. So
Love the mystery of
It
it.
does have a volleyball on it,
it's
though.
like we praise it for its humor and it's upbeat and all this stuff, and there's a lot of great charm to it and everything. But the science fiction concept is very strong as well.
I like to think that it's generating more and more and more power, trying to like get deeper and deeper and trying to communicate and kind of cover the globe when it doesn't hear a response. Maybe it's even like panicking a bit, and that's
Right.
what's overloading everything. It's not like a direct like punishment or attack, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it wasn't
phew,
malicious. Yeah,
it just goes. You know, I mean,
right.
it's brilliant. I mean, it's so perfect. You know. And I really love on the special features, you know, like the making of it, where you see the whale swimming and then you see like a diver swim up that's looming over them, and he's so much bigger than they are, you know, in the pool, you know, so much like so much footage is shot in pools, you know.
Right,
The
right, yeah.
Jaws, you know, Ben Gardner scene, you know, in a pool with milk poured into it, you know. It's fucking great. Andy Masters. Oh, I were you finished, Doug, or did you have anything else?
Yeah,
you
that's
wanted
good.
to say?
Yeah, go see the movie if you have it.
Yeah,
I want
for-
to see. Did you finish the HMS Bounty, Sean? Are you still working on that?
I finished the model. I just haven't painted Bounty or built the
Okay.
diorama.
Yeah, because
yet.
it is based.
I was gonna go grab it, but I didn't have enough time.
You better put the little tanks in it, man, for the whales.
Yes.
It's got to
Wanna see
smell
to
like
crack it open.
Klingons.
And have the shapely Vulcan priestesses in the diaphanous
Yeah.
gowns backlit, please.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate that.
That would be nice.
Man, well, a wonderful thing, that Romulan ale,
How many
Uh,
I
times did I
only
study
use it
that
for.
scene?
Mm.
Hey, wait a minute. Oh, all right. Thanks, Mr. Nimoy.
Oh dear. Andy Masterson, anything to say about Star Trek 4 Voyage Home?
Well, my dedication to this show is such that today I went down to the Jersey Shore to look for whales. I did find some in some ill-fitting bathing suits that I shouldn't be wearing. I did see a hunchback whale in a plaid bikini, and I tried to get some shots, but it wouldn't go in frame. So it was a noble effort, though. You guys have pretty much covered everything with this, all the good points. It's a lot of fun. The banner between the interplay between the three mains, like McCoy, Kirk, and Spock, is fabulous in this, and the time displacement actually makes it work better. McCoy really steals the show with his doctor sequence in the hospital. That was some of my favorites. And Scotty, of course, like, there be whales in here, and who could have seen that he was foreshadowing a visit to Walmart?
Hello, computer.
And here we are. If they had done it in 2025, it'd be like, just call it Siri or something else. But yeah,
The
it's
time
great
travel. How
movie.
do we know he didn't invent the thing?
He did now.
Yeah. Well, look at all the things that we got for, like, the touch screens, everything from Next Generation, and the communicator was the flip phone, all that. But yeah, this is a great film. And when you hear us complain about what Star Trek is now, go back and watch something like this, and you'll understand. Contrasted with, like, what is being made today and what was made then, with less ability in special effects, and how much better the story and character development and the acting was. And you'll see exactly what we mean and why we're just not haters on something. We actually want something to reach new heights instead of, what we have.
Yeah, 100%, man. So you love this movie?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I remember this was one of those that was, as cable was back in the in the old days. You would get this on reruns over and over and over again. Now, I was too poor to have cable, but my friend Bert, who was a huge Star Trek fan, I would go over there a lot, and we would watch this over and over and over again while we would drink unsweetened iced tea and eat junk food.
Good memories, man. Good memories. All right, folks. Well, if you haven't seen Star Trek 4, be sure and check it out, and maybe you'll realize then, maybe it'll help you remember that this is why Suck New Worlds and Puke Hard and Star Trek Disgracery are not by any stretch of the imagination Star Trek. This is Star Trek. Wrath of Khan is Star Trek. And this movie would not be the great movie it is if it weren't bolstered also by 79 episodes of greatness in the original series. That one of the part of a reason why Wrath of Khan and Star Trek 4 are so great is because we know these characters. We love these characters. We've been through everything with these characters, and it just adds so much subtext and meaning to these films. And it's like visiting family, and not family you fight with at Thanksgiving, the family you actually like, which is not often something that we get in life.
That reminds me, Sulu was supposed to get he was supposed to meet his descendant in the.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
you're supposed to meet a great ancestor, however many great grandfathers or whatever was supposed to run into him in San Francisco.
The kid was too shy. He couldn't do it. So
it was a kid that played him, and then the kid was kind of he was shy, he didn't want to perform or something.
You dumb shit. Well, you
I
missed
know,
your
right?
chance
You
of being
missed
in
your-
history.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Oh my, indeed, Jason Love. Oh my.
Oh
Oh
my.
my.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the rest of these super chats here, folks. Super chats, mofo. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get Harvey a little bit of wampum here. Otherwise, he gets sour and sulks. Evan Peterson with a $5 super chat. Hail, Evan Peterson. He says, see you Friday on the Sabu and Skull of Calderon show. Ah, geez. Featuring Overlord DVD, and Harvey Cthulhu will share stories from his honeymoon with Pedro Pascal. Yeah, fuck off, Evan Peterson, you piece of shit. Yeah, he who smelt it dealt it, asshole. Just remember that. Oh, man. The hate's getting strong with this one. And Radioactive with a $20 super chat. Hail to you, Radioactive. He says elite dangerous news, folks. Panther Clipper Mark II is back after a 30-year hiatus. A new mining ship is forthcoming, and the fleet carrier FNF Harbor J. Cthulhu has been spotted in the game, joining its sister ship, the FNF Overlord DVD. That's pretty awesome, man. LDU Radioactive. You'll have to send me some screenshots of these alleged sightings. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, sir, for letting us know about this. This is absolutely fantastic. Hail to you, Radioactive. Long time usual suspect, friend of the show, and friend of mine. Hail to you, brother. And executive producer Jack White with a $5 super chat, a $20 super chat, and a $5 super chat, 3 in a row from executive producer Jack White. Hail to you, sir. He points out, along with Elite Dangerous, some upcoming games to check out: Metal Gear Solid Delta 8, 28, Lost Soul Aside, 8. Oh, I see what you're saying. Metal Gear Solid Delta is coming out on August 28th. Lost Soul Aside coming out on the 29th. So 2 are coming out back to back. Hail to you, Jack White. Sorry, I got confused there for a sec. Jack White also adds, in response to my discussion about King of the Hill, he says, I'm not a fan of King of the Hill, but in response to Doomcock's point about the woke stuff, that is stuff that should be made fun of, yes. But they also need to make fun of where the woke ideas originate from. And then he points out, so they would make jokes about John Money, Simone de Beauvoir, Harry Hay. I've never heard of Harry Hay. Margaret Sanger, to name a few. Well, thank you, Jack. Thank you for that. I think that's true. You know, I don't know that they'll go that far into it, unfortunately, but I think that would be a good thing. They really wanted to fight back against woke. I think that would be a great way to do it. Trevin Lane with a $2 super chat. Hey, Trevin. He says Capcom has advertised a new re-game, a gotcha game. What is a RE game? A new re-game, he says. Anyone know what that is? RE? I've never heard of that. A gotcha game, GACHA game. I'm not sure. Trevin, maybe you can explain explain in the chat what that is. Clarify that for us, sir. And Radioactive with a $10 super chat, and he's got Resident Evil. Thank you, Trevin Lane. Okay, yeah, Resident Evil. Gotcha, my friend. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good franchise. You know, some good stuff. I enjoyed the movies. Raccoon City. Lilu, partial. Well, I got a good flash of her completely naked in that movie, and I've never been happier. Radioactive with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Radioactive. He's got a review of a little bit of Alien Earth here. He says, DC, I just finished episode 2 of Alien Earth. It's a trip so far. It is very gory. Don't show to kids under 12. It has bigger world building, other creatures beyond the xenomorph, not woke so far. Interesting. Well, I think, Rob had some misgivings and thought it might veer in that direction. It's a interesting point. Radioactive also adds with a $5 super chat. Speaking of Blade Runner, in Aliens Earth, a Sulaco class warship did appear in Blade Runner 2049. I've not seen, nor will I ever see Blade Runner 2049. So I didn't know that, but probably some people on the panel would have noticed that out there. Hail to you, Radioactive. It's interesting. It would be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing this. And I'm sure we'll do a more thorough review of this next week on the show. Jack White with two $5 super chats in a row again. Executive producer Jack White, hail to you, sir. Jack White, and by the way, I'll probably see you tomorrow on the Archvillain live stream. Jack White says another series on Prime Video I would like to get your guys' thoughts on, the series Countdown. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I've heard some good things about that. I've heard it's a lot of fun. Have y'all seen Countdown at all? Anyone on the panel?
I haven't heard of it. No.
It's like I as far as I understand it, it's kind of like a interesting kind of a special agent kind of show, not like a spy, but kind of like elite cops, going undercover, doing stuff. I understand it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to watching it. I haven't had a chance yet. Anyone else seen Countdown on the panel?
No.
I've heard it's pretty good. Maybe we should check that out at some point. I think I need to check that out. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Jack White with two $5 super chats again says some manga app recommendations. Yes. Shonen Jump, Viz Media, Manga Up, K Manga. So these are apps where you can read a shit ton of manga for like one low subscription price on the site. And it really is if you're a manga fan, that shit is the way to go, because they have an incredible assortment of manga. It's really something to see. And Jack White says another series is getting a new season is the series 8686, which I've not seen. I've seen a trailer though for it, I believe. But I have not seen the show as of yet. Thank you very much, Jack, for that. Angry Yeti TV with a $5 super chat. Hello, Angry One. He says, speaking of Black Clover, it appears a new season has officially entered production. What is Black Clover? Anyone know on the panel? No?
Never heard of that either.
I know there was like a Black Lotus. That was like a Blade Runner animated thing. Wasn't it Black Lotus? But I don't know what Black Clover is, Angry Yeti TV. Tell us in the chat. Tell us a little more about that, because we're not familiar with that one. Greg's Game Review has been a channel member 38 months at the Dumentite level. Hail to you, Greg. He says, did you all know Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper are close pals? They play in a band together. Check out the Hollywood Vampires. Ha! How about that? I did not know that. Hail to you, Greg's Game Review. Have you ever heard them play or seen any recordings of them? I had no idea. That's interesting. Are they any good? Demo Man Chaos in the chat says Black Clover is an anime. Paula Vita Gamer adds Black Clover is a medieval fantasy. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much for that. JT Kirk with a $5 super chat says, why don't Spock and Sarek talk about Spock's sister, Maggie Spock, at all during this movie? Don't they wonder where she disappeared off to? Nah, they don't give a fuck. Because there is no Mikey Spock. There is no Spock sister. That's why they never ask. He never asks, by the way, how is Mikey Spock? Well, she's human. They didn't have any mention of Mikey Spock or any of that fucking bullshit, because it's all a load of fucking crap. Hail to you, JT Kirk. And you know this to be a fact. And that's why you brought it up. Hail to you, JT Kirk. Trevin Lane with a $5 super chat. Hail to you, Trevin Lane says the aircraft carrier in Star Trek 4 was the USS Ranger CV-61, as Enterprise was on maneuvers during filming. It was also in Top Gun. Wow. Interesting. And then
That
he
was
adds
going to
with
be
it.
my closing trivia, but I got to pick something else now.
Oh, well, there you go. And Trevin Lane says, with a $2 super chat, he adds the USS Ranger was not a nuclear carrier. So there you go. Fabioki 100 is a new channel member at the Dumentite level. Well, actually, they renewed their channel membership, and I want to thank you, Fabioki 100. 3 new members tonight, folks. Not bad. We appreciate you. Being channel members is the way to support this channel moving forward, since YouTube gets increasingly weird and flaky. If you want to support the channel, being a channel member is really the best darn way to do it. Hail to you, Fabioki 100, and you will be seeing a new channel member exclusive video, uncensored and demonetized, tomorrow. Aaron Pipes with a $10 super chat. Hail to you, Aaron. Says, I want everyone to know I have nothing to do with Mexican Iron Man missing. He has had my slutty brother working in his taco truck all summer and dilly-dallying with him. Should I be both jealous and worried? I don't know. I wouldn't worry about that. If anything, Mexican Iron Man might be wanting to eventually chop him up into tacos. I don't really know, but I don't know where is Mexican Iron Man? Is he?
He is on vacation. He is spending this is his last week with Max for the summer before he goes back to school.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. I didn't realize it would be like 2 weeks in a row, but I guess I just,
I'll fill you in on the rest later, DC. It's little.
Oh, sure. No problems. No problems. He probably told me, my brain, I got too much shit on my mind. Paula Viter Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Paula Viter Gamer says Star Trek 4, apart from being a fun back in time romp, is that it is a low-key sci-fi horror, much in line with the OG series. Advanced mystery aliens. Interesting. Well, I guess you could say, low-key sci-fi horror like The Salt Vampire and The Man Trap. You could do that. Devil in the Dark, although it wound up with a happy ending and an important lesson, things like that. Hail to you, Paula Viter Gamer. You are correct, sir. I hope to see you tomorrow on the Archvillain live stream we're doing. And Robert Moschel with a $2 super chat. Hail, Robert. Robert Moschel says transparent aluminum has been invented in real life. Yes, I saw that. Somebody got a hold of that apple. Yeah. Isn't that right, Jill?
But it's just too expensive to really implement yet.
Well, son of a bitch. Doggone it. But Scotty, he should have included, financial and marketing data along with his invention. Well, what the hell? Jack White, executive producer Jack White, with 2 $5 super chats and a $10 super chat. 3 in a row for executive producer, manga and anime expert Jack White. He says, that's why I said that you would have to make fun of where a lot of these so-called progressive ideas and theories originate from. Plus, it would be easy, seeing as how the people the progressive ideas and theories originate from were all degenerates and freaks. I'm not surprised, man. Well, of course, you've kind of tipped me off on that shit, but as it turns out, it's a very interesting story. Jack White also adds Black Clover is a manga, an anime series set in a fantasy world full of magic, but the main character can't use any magic whatsoever, and he dreams to become the wizard king of his said kingdom. Thanks, Jack. So Black Clover. So does that mean you recommend that one? Hail to you, Jack White. Angry Yeti TV gifted 10 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. We got 13 new members tonight. God bless you, Angry Yeti TV. You effing rock, brother. Thank you so much for that. And Theta of the Grid thanks you for his gifted membership as well. Hail to you, Theta of the Grid. Hope you're feeling better, my friend out there. And Jack White with a $5 super chat says, oh God, please tell me Mike isn't teaching his son his bad habit of jumping out of windows. Oh, heck no. Mike sets a good example for the young one. He keeps that tastefully on the lowdown, on the QT, off the record, and very hush hush. And Aaron Pipes with a $5 super chat says Mexican Iron Man vacation. That explains where my bikini went. What in God's name, Aaron Pipes? What in God's name? What? Oh dear, I don't even want to know. I'm moving on. I do not want to know. And Douglas Nelson, Mr. Nelson, been a channel member 51 months, and he says tonight's all right. So thank you. Thank you very much,
Strong
Doug
feelings
Nelson.
from Doug.
And I want to say it was a pleasure having you. Thank you for staying the entire show tonight, my friend. Glad you were feeling up to it, and we love having you here, man. It just
My pleasure.
Puts a smile on all our faces, including Jack White with a $2 super chat says, and yes, I would recommend Black Clover. Thank you, Jack. Hail to you, Jack White. All right. Well, shoot. We had fun tonight. Let's go around and let everyone plug away whatever they would like to plug. Gary Ambrosia, go ahead and plug away, my friend.
I just want to say, hail to the chat, hail to the wrenches. We love you guys very much. Hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. We're going to be back next week. I don't know what the movie is yet, but we will find out soon. So see you guys later. We love you. Good night.
Absolutely. And we will be doing a more thorough review of Alien Earth next week. I think that's safe to say. I can't wait to look at it. It's going to be very interesting. Rob, go ahead and plug away, my friend.
Hey, got my own channel, Rob Wright Snacks Pop Culture. This past weekend, Heather L. and I went over the movie Tombstone, and we gave you historical facts as well as going over the movie. So check out that video. And this Sunday, my panel and I are doing the top 40 hits of 1974. And our album of the month, our album that we love, is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. So come join us Saturday, 5:30 Central.
You have great taste, Rob. You know, you've done Dark Side of the Moon, one of my favorite albums, and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is absolutely one of my favorite albums as well. So well done, sir. Well done. Sean, who is now sitting in the dark. Yeah. It's scary. It's Weapons Part 2, the Seaning. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, well, come join me on the Sci-Fi Model Guy, and the lights are off because you can see me build.
Look at that. Look.
This nice.
Look at that. Everybody take that. Man.
Jeez, that's
a little bright on the camera.
That's so awesome.
Look how gorgeous
there
that
she
is.
Yeah.
I think it looks better than the original fucking model, frankly.
I know.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm proud of this one.
Gorgeous.
It's okay.
Gosh. Thank you for bringing that out for us.
It was gorgeous, man. Really, really something.
Thank you, guys.
Doug.
And that's a good compliment, Doug.
It's all right.
It's a great paperweight.
You won't stumble into it in the dark.
No.
Hail to you. Doug, go ahead and plug away, my friend.
Well, I got a little podcast called The Mr. Nelson Show that's available on radiomisfits.com or wherever you get your podcast. Of course, I have the Nelson Ratings channel where I have my review of both first two episodes of Alien Earth. You might want to check that out. Also, I've been doing these movies from the 70s, and the latest one was The Outfit, starring Robert Duvall. You can check that out. I was really happy with that movie. It's really good. So there's that, and the rest of your Nelson needs can be found at the nelsonratings.locals.com. And then why not head over to indieplanet.com and look up Night Night so you can get what Robert has right there. Those are Night Night comic books written and drawn by me. Yeah, it's true. And look at the face on Robert's face. Look at that. My goodness. That's happiness. I know it's hard to come by sometimes, but when you're in, lost for it, check out Night Night and be as happy as Robert Wright.
Is that a recommendation? Do you really want to be as happy as Rob?
Sure, why not?
Well, I don't know. He looks really happy. You know, the kind of happy. You know, they call the guys in the white suits to come and, you know, with the butterfly nets and everything.
Hey, look, happiness is happiness.
Happiness is a warm puppy, or Doug Nelson's comic books. Hail to you, Doug Nelson, and thank you, my friend, for that. Andy Derivative Jill, go ahead and plug away.
Sure. Oh, wow, that just turned off on me. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you have a Romulan bird of prey.
No, I do, but it's in
Okay.
in another room. Oh no, right next to me, I have an Orville. We can look
There
at
you
it.
go.
But I didn't build it, so it doesn't matter. I am so grateful to have been here today. Thank you. It was such a joy today. And you were right earlier. The movies owe the TV show everything, and I don't know if we're ever going to get a TV show that is worth a quarter of what the original series was. And before I go, though, here's a bit of little leftover trivia I didn't say earlier. Michelob wasn't the only product placement in this movie. The computer Scotty greets in the Plexicore company is the Macintosh Plus, and of course we get that big Pacific Bell advertisement. And Sulu didn't get to see his descendant, but he did get to fly a Huey 204 helicopter.
Excellent.
And my channel name, same as my name, Anti-Derivative Jill. I like to review classic science fiction and fantasy and sometimes other stuff every Tuesday and Friday at 11 a.m. Central. And you might even catch me playing some computer games or just I just love for you guys to come hang out with me if you want to.
All right, sounds good. Hail to you, Anti-Derivative Jill, communications officer. Hail to you.
We
Live
love
long
you,
and
Jill.
prosper. Say what?
I said we love you, Jill.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
absolutely,
love
Jill. Thank you for being
Very
here
much.
tonight. We
Love
really
you guys
enjoyed
too.
having you. And
Thanks.
Andy Masterson, please go ahead and plug away, sir.
A tragedy has occurred in Colorado. If you want to share the image I've got there. In Colorado, we've got rabbits with tentacles. What the fuck, Harvey? Come on, rabbits?
They nothing to do with me. It's
Wow,
bullshit.
Harvey. Oh
It's
my
bullshit,
goodness.
man.
I
What?
mean, are we gonna have to support little baby bunny rabbits too with tentacles?
Sounds
Shut
like
up,
it.
man. Let me tell you something. Until
Rob's running out
Mars,
of room.
Hey, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Oh dear. Jeez. The abuse Harvey has to take with all these like so-called rumors about his so-called paternity suits. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, Andy.
I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's wonderful having you, and thank you for tuning in and checking us out.
All right. Thank you, Andy Masterson. God bless you, Andy. And let's see. Jack White with a $5 super chat and a $2 super chat. Hail, Jack. Jack White, executive producer, says light novel series recommendation. Oh, okay. The Hero and the Sage, Reincarnated and Engaged. I've never heard of that. Interesting. And Jack White says manga recommendation, The Revenge of My Youth. That's the first time you recommended that one to me. I know that. Hail to you, Jack White. We really appreciate those recommendations. Keep them coming, brother. And hope to see you tomorrow on the Archvillain live stream. All right, folks, I want to welcome all of our new channel members that we got tonight. Thank you very much. Go watch those exclusive, uncensored, and demonetized videos that are there for your enjoyment. And a new one is getting posted tomorrow. Also doing an Archvillain live stream tomorrow for all of my amazing Archvillains. You guys are the best. And I want to thank my panel of pop culture pundits here tonight. And get that damn thing off the screen, Jill. Get that fucking thing. Yeah, get her on. Get her
Oh,
on.
come on, he's adorable.
Fucking bastard.
Oh.
Well, he just ran off into his own dimension. Well, he's gone. He's gone for now. Thank you all. We'll see you on Friday for Friday Night Frolics and next Wednesday for a pop culture breakdown where we will be reviewing the latest incidents of pop culture abuse and who knows, maybe a triumph or two. Alien Earth. I'm looking forward to it. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock and my panel of pop culture pundits. Bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Good night, everyone. Good night, everybody. Don't listen to all the lies and propaganda. They're full of shit.